What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Sandlot Gaming. Apologies for my voice. Come a little under the weather here. Got a little bit of a head cold. But here we are with another week of Dungeons and Dragons here. Session 8 we are picking up. We left off last week. I think we were burning bodies in the town square. But they're bad people, but still kind of weird. I don't know. We're going to see how that picks up. Same characters as always. And this week we're going to see what we're going to do next. We are running the Lost Mine, Phandelver's Lost Mine starter pack module, and just kind of run it through to see what we can do. So we just cleaned the town of the Red Brands. Our next stop will be potentially we can go clear some orcs from a trail north. We can head up to Thunder Tree and see about clearing out whatever it is that's holding that down, or we can go try to rescue Gundren Rockseeker, who is a captured dwarf who may have the map to Phandelver's Lost Mine. So that's it. Let's jump into the channel and pick things up this week.
Got me Magnas on ice.
Ooh. All right, so I'm going to work this into the equipping business here. AC.
As a ritual caster, does Zigmunder have Identify? As a ritual? Sorry, I shouldn't. You're doing a thing.
It's a question for you there, Zig.
I couldn't hear you at all.
Do you
No
have
worries.
Identify as a ritual caster?
As a ritual caster, I don't believe so.
I'm assuming the only ritual caster in the group that can do the wizard spells.
No, I am. Oh, I don't have Identify as a ritual, no, but I do have a spell book. But it's just one of those blank, generic items that's how I keep record of my spells.
Oh, of course, yeah.
So just we'll find it in town. It's not a big deal.
Right.
Yeah,
So
it's just something we'll have to pick up along the way.
yeah. So if you find, say, a scroll of Identify, you'd be able to then copy it into your spell book, and you wouldn't
Right.
need to memorize it. You'd be able to cast it as a ritual.
That's pretty baller. Oh well,
So-
Oh,
we,
I
should-
do have a scroll here, but we didn't figure out what they were. Hang on. Or maybe
we have a couple. We could give you a scroll of augury, for instance.
Oh, I see. So it's just any spell that's in your spell book that happens to also be a ritual. Cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ritual just means you can cast it without preparing it.
Yeah. I picked up Ritual Caster as a sorcerer in my other game.
Nice.
But wizards just get it for free.
It's
That
basically
makes
yeah.
sense.
It's extra non-combat utility.
Exactly. Yeah. Which I kind of like that they kept that from 4th edition.
Yep.
What
All
is,
right,
I'll-
utility
I will be
spells,
right
yeah.
back.
No worries.
Hey, what is the when I'm adding an item to my items list? What does use as a resource mean if I check it?
I think you get like a little counter.
Yeah, so I think
Oh.
it's because some spells require certain items to be consumed when you
Gotcha.
cast them.
Right. Yeah, like precious gems and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
that might be it. I'm guessing. I don't really know, but
Okay.
Speaking of which, since we're about to hit 4th level, if you wanted to pick up some magic, you can always take the there's a feat that gives
Yeah,
you
can we talk about that real quick? Because
Sure.
who knows anything about that? Start talking.
what
Um,
about it?
So in your class, you'll have a table that tells you what happens to you every time you gain a level. Okay. When that table says that you could take ability points, an ability point increase, you can either take 2 ability points that you can apply where you want to.
Mhm.
For instance, you could make, in your case, probably your intelligence better, or
You're saying you don't think too good.
you could take a feat. Well, no, that's the operative.
or you can split them up and go 1 and 1
for,
if you want
for
to.
a
You
wizard.
can.
Right. You can do that. Or you
Can't go
can take
above 20 though.
a feat instead, and the feats are listed in the player handbook.
Okay.
Now, some feats have ability increases in them as well.
They do.
Right.
But they also give you stuff like the ones I look at are more for like mobility. So they give you like faster movement speed or higher jumping, stuff like that. Or,
Yeah. There's a lot of really fun stuff. in
some
there.
of them give you like armor proficiency. Some of them give you different weapons you can use.
Right. So if you wanted to use an armor or a weapon that you couldn't pick because the class doesn't support it, feats are a good way to blend that into your character.
Alright.
Although to get heavily armored, you also have to take, you have to build up to it.
Right,
So they
and
light
find
armor
some
first.
armor.
And pay, it's like 1,500 gold for a set of plate armor or something.
Well, and
Yeah,
also
something
acquire the armor.
absurd. I saw that.
But if you wanted to be able to
Anybody
do
know
like,
how to add the attribute of +1 to armor class when I'm adding a weapon into will it modify it if I somehow add it somewhere?
I think you just have to update that manually.
That can get tricky because there's no history on your.
Yeah. I tend to track it. Like I have an AC section in my features and traits where
Oh,
I
that's
track
okay.
where I track everything that has to do with my AC. So mine says like AC is 10 and 10 plus my dex plus my wisdom right now. Now if I get something else, I'll put right under it that I have a +1 because of this or whatever.
See,
That's
right
good.
now, I know last Monday when I was looking over this sheet for this thing, I modified some stuff on my player sheet, my character sheet, but I can't remember if I updated the armor class or not, and now I don't know.
Well, I don't think your armor class would have changed.
No.
No, I would have clicked on it and I would have changed it.
Yeah. Well, you could probably think it through. Assuming you're not wearing any armor, it should just be your
Yeah, you just got cloth on, right?
base, right?
He has no
Walking
armor.
around in a
Yeah.
bathrobe.
Yeah, I'm allowed to wear up to light armor, like a
Oh,
leather
cool.
or something like that. But
Yeah, but you have to own that armor too.
yeah, I don't own it, so
Okay, cool. So you can just calculate it again.
So let's look at armor
It's just your
for.
dex then.
yeah. Where are we?
Is it 8 plus or 10 plus?
I don't. I gotta find it. Hang on. Oh, did I just delete that character sheet that I?
Do we have everybody here, by the way? Is Andy here?
Yeah, I'm here. Yes, I hope to be here for a while, but my daughter's gone bonkers. So,
No
How's
worries.
your daughter?
it's almost 8 months.
Oh yeah. That's a good period.
Yeah, I mean my son's 3.5, and he's easy, but now she's
Sure.
waking him up, so that's
Ugh.
my whole house is
twofer.
just up. It's always fucking something.
Sounds like
Is
a lot of
there-
work.
Is there any way you could actually either get closer to your microphone or do something? You're coming in super quiet compared to everyone else.
Maybe.
He's probably trying to not wake his kids up.
Talk softly.
Carry a big stick.
No. Carry a glass staff.
Heyo.
Yeah, so it's 10 plus dex for wizards. Did we decide that?
Oh, okay. So 10 plus dexterity is 2, so 12. So no, I have not actually modified it yet. All right, I'm gonna write that down. That's a good place to put
Test
it.
1, 2. Test 1, 2. Is that any better?
You're fine before Andy.
That's solid, yeah.
Yeah, he was a little quiet.
Good. There's one more thing. Oh, before we actually get rolling, does anybody have a problem with Discord dropping out like maybe every 25, 30 minutes where the connection gets real bad?
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Okay, so that's not my internet provider. I've been trying to trace that down because we've been having some other internet problems here.
I've had that happen before.
I have not, but that doesn't mean it's
Nor
not
have
happening.
I. Right. I'm not denying your truth. Yeah, it's just
Fake news.
Cool. Well, I'm ready to go.
like
All right.
A little bit mock centric this morning, or the beginning of this, so I'm going to shut up now.
Hey, man. All good information.
Troy.
All right. Yes.
No, just proceed.
Okay. Somebody remind me who was MVP last game?
I think we decided Steve.
Yeah.
No, who literally last
Oh.
game?
Oh,
who
I
had the
was.
inspiration dice?
Correct.
All right, then Nick, I'm voluntolding you to do the recap of last week for us.
Fucking
Clever.
Holding.
So, it's a good way
All
to
in telling, huh? There it is. Okay.
Is that how it's going to be from now on, Troy?
Yep.
It's a good call.
Comes with a cost.
Because if you ask for a volunteer,
If you don't volunteer, he will call on you.
Just go over the game log.
Yeah, just a quick recap so that everybody kind of remembers what's
Right.
going on. You don't have to read it word for word.
Quick recap: we stormed a bar, killed Glassstaff, bought a house. we bought a lumber mill. Went into another town. Went into like the town hall where we bought what else did we buy? We bought a. We are now the proud owners
It was
of
a
a
woodworking
lumber mill, as well as where we have the deed of sleeping, as well as we also have the deed of the sleeping dragon. So we are slowly buying this town to ourselves.
It was a weird session.
It was a really weird session.
Yeah, we're now real estate tycoons.
I'm just going to give our children a small loan of $1 million gold.
We're doing D&D fixer-upper.
yeah. I do think wasn't the tavern's name the Sleeping Giant?
The
Sleeping
sleeping
Dragon.
yeah.
Totally on board with renaming it.
Hey, I'm the one doing the recap. It's whatever I call it.
Sleeping Dragon. 100% Sleeping Dragon.
Hey, Nick, did you
Actually,
drop
no.
off
Actually, it
more
is the
money out
sleeping
here?
giant. So Christy
Right.
was
I'm
Oh,
happy to rename it though, because Sleeping Dragon is cooler.
Okay.
don't wake it.
right. All right. So
Dude, that place is woke already.
No.
That's what the kids say.
Woke.
Kids.
all right.
We also have a general direction on where to go to get to Cragmaw Castle now. And we're also looking for a gem that a lady has.
Is
What
that
does it
accurate that we know where Cragmaw is?
Droop
Give
does.
it-
Direction.
Droop
Droop
can
knows
lead
how
us
to,
there.
yeah, so we have an idea of where to go.
Oh, okay.
Droop-
Oh no, it's
Droop
it's
has
the
a
cave.
general idea.
It's the cave that we don't know.
Right.
Wave Echo Cave. We don't know where that is.
Great. All right, and so we're gonna pick up with Steve and Granny in the town square, burning the bodies of the Red Brands alongside Glassstaff, inclusive in the town square. But before we get there, 2 points of order. So we've got the MVP for this game. I think the consensus was for Steve Dark Magic to hold the Sacred Inspiration dice for this game session. So Hillers, remember that is use it or lose it.
Got it.
By the end of the night. And other than that, we have our first flashback in a while. So we're going to do Roland's flashback, assuming Andy is still here and not
I
back
am.
on baby duty.
I am. Things sound quiet upstairs, so I got a good solid 7 minutes.
All right.
We're on the clock.
Okay, so let's see here. All right. So doo-doo-doo, doo-doo-doo. All right. This is about a few years ago, and Roland finds himself. Let's see. He's at a place called. Well, let me actually show you. Just 1 minute while I do this.
Oh, there's pictures.
Cool.
It's a
There
pop-up
are-
book.
Blurry like a flashback should be.
Is this like, what are they called? Shadow boxes? Or what are they called?
Sure.
The soft focus.
What was the puppet show that Anthony did? What was that? What were those called?
Sock puppet.
Yeah,
What?
sure. It's 1 year Anthony lost a bet, so we had to do a puppet show at our fantasy football draft.
One salty ass puppet show.
It really
too.
was.
That was pretty great.
It was very Anthony.
Wait, was like the next season he had to like start to do a puppet show, or was it like halfway through the season he had to perform a puppet show?
No,
At the draft.
at the draft to start the next year he had to, and he did it. He went all out. He did great.
He gets salty, but he really does get into those things.
He's very invested.
All right, so here we go. And how do I upload this?
He committed to the bit. Are there bird noises in the background?
I was gonna say,
There are.
why is there bird noise
That's
going on?
cool.
Okay.
Awesome.
Wait.
So immersive.
Because he's of nature.
I'm a man of nature.
Oh yeah, that's right. He's a hippie.
Mm-hmm.
You don't start turning into a bear by not hanging out with the birds, Meryl.
All right, one last second. Here we go. And everybody should see it now.
Cool.
All right. So Roland found himself guarding the ancient spirit mound of Beorunna's Well. So Beorunna's Well is a sacred and spiritual place for the barbarians of the north in the Silver Marches. So Roland was there. There was another gentleman of the druid variety, perhaps even a member of the Emerald Enclave. Roland never really got the full story there because this other guy was, he didn't speak a lot. May have been mute or may just not have liked him. Not really entirely clear. But they spent some time together, really just guarding the forest around it and guarding the burial mound, which was sacred to the barbarian tribes that surround it. So one night, Roland, you're off hunting for your dinner. You come back to the well, descend down. It's a really long. I mean, when you get back to the edge of the clearing, and you can look down into the well. I mean, we're talking 10 stories down. This is a pretty steep drop. Maybe even more than that. So you kind of have come back with maybe some rabbits or maybe a deer carcass, whatever was your night's spoils, and you climb down the rope that you had secured to a tree to kind of come up and down into the well. And as you come down to the bottom, you turn around and you see two giants. We're talking about 3 men's height tall, so maybe even up to 25 feet tall. They're there at the center of the mound, kind of hunched over, looking at something. One of the two who looks like the bigger one. There's a kind of a medium-sized one, maybe like 18 feet, and another one maybe 24 feet. Yeah. Kind of looks to the other and gets really excited and pulls a humongous metallic rod from the ground. This thing's probably 10 feet long, maybe 1 foot in diameter. I mean, just absolutely enormous by your standards. But he's able to hoist it with one hand, as if it was smaller than the staff you carry now. And he says, the Yakvok seer was right. Another rod of the Vodendad. So all of a sudden, the giant's hand is covered in vines, and the vines pull his hand down to the ground and smash it against it. They both kind of look around in shock, and they turn around and they see the old man who you've been spending so much time guarding the forest with, but not really getting to know, is back behind the giants, and the giants are kind of between you and this other druid. And he's waving his staff around, obviously casting this spell against the giants. The larger giant kind of rips free of those vines and starts to dash forward towards the other druid. What would you like to do?
I'd like to yell out to the other druid, yell his name.
Okay.
Hey, since I guess I don't know his name.
Hi.
He's coming right for you.
Okay, so you yell out and try to catch his attention and let him know. He can definitely already see that there's a 25-foot guy, steamrolling right towards him. But you can see the recognition in his eyes as he recognizes that you're in the game now as well, and maybe there's even a sense of relief. So you're able to come a little bit closer and maybe even cast a spell to try and save him. Go ahead and in Roll20 roll, let's say, roll intelligence. Nice roll. So you're able to cast your druidic fog cloud right over top of this old druid and completely obscure the area around him. So the giant kind of goes up and swings a few times, but as best as you can tell, and you aren't entirely sure, but as best as you can tell, he doesn't connect with anything within it. So he turns around kind of to try and see where this came from, and he's able to see you now, casting that spell.
Uh-oh.
He takes the gigantic rod, which is it's made out of this. It's all metal, but it's a really shiny, almost swirling metal, almost like it's covered in oil that has that kind of shimmering, constantly moving texture. So he takes the rod and he throws it to the other giant and says, "Bring it to Duke Zalto." And the other giant kind of takes off running with the rod, while the first larger giant pulls out a probably 12-foot club from his belt and starts storming towards you. So he's gonna run right towards you. What would you like to try and do?
I would try to cast Thunder Wave to try to knock him away or down.
Nice. All right, let's go ahead and roll Wisdom there. Oh.
I said try.
Not too wise.
So you kind of step back as this creature that's over 3 times your height storms towards you. You push your hands out, and a gigantic force comes out of your hands and hits the ground in front of you. You're trying to send either the giant off of his feet, or perhaps maybe cloud his vision with some dirt in the eyes. A good old playground trick, right? But instead, it kind of just hits with a dull thud.
What playgrounds were you on?
A little bit of dirt and dust fly everywhere, but there's nothing stopping him. He comes forward. He raises a gigantic, club that's bigger than you are, almost twice as large as you are, and brings it down on you. Everything goes black. So, split second later, you open up your eyes, and you're holding on to and even pushing back against that club. But all of a sudden, your hand doesn't look like your hand anymore. Your hand has green scales and talons, and you realize that you're looking eye to eye with the giant. So, go
Is he a
ahead
dragon?
and roll
Right?
roll dexterity.
Man.
Oh,
Killing it.
Hey, yikes.
So
worst
Start with my own backstory here.
So as you kind of look around, you can see that you have gigantic, leathery, scaly green wings as well, and you start to beat the wings back and forth and grasp onto the giant, but you're not able to lift up off the ground with the giant, who's still probably, even with your new enormous size, he still probably weighs considerably more than you. He's much thicker. So with no ability to kind of pull him out of Beador as well, actually let's see. Go ahead and roll intelligence one more time.
That I got.
Okay. So you can feel this pressure in your chest cavity, and you reel your head back and just let loose, and an enormous stream of green gas comes right out of your mouth. You can see immediately the giant in front of you, his skin starts to go pale and yellow, and like these purplish veins creep across his face. His eyes turn bright yellow. He kind of gasps and collapses to the floor of the cavern. Beyond you, you can see that green gas kind of continue onward, and you can see the spirit mound. You can see all of the kind of everything in the base of the well wilt and die, and you can see the fog that you had cast earlier start to clear, and you can see the old wizened druid himself similarly grasping at his throat. His face is covered in nasty purplish veins, and he collapses to the ground.
Oh no.
So with kind of a bestial-like response, you take off into the air. Your sacred duty to protect the spirit mound is now kind of completely well. It didn't go very well.
You botched it.
It was like that when I got here, I promise. It was,
This guy was hanging on the ground.
Oh, the spirit mound.
You fly off into the forest nearby, eventually turn back into a human. You know that you can never go back to where you have kind of despoiled the sacred ground, and eventually you of course find yourself in the company of the strangers who will learn more about tonight. And that's your flashback. So,
Thanks, man.
as part of that, you've got 2 minor boons and a bane.
so did the giants get out of the hole?
Well, one of them appears to have.
Okay.
Yep.
It's a really
the-
strong rope I put down there.
Seriously, that's some good rope, dude.
The other, it would not look likely that he got out.
Well, yeah. You know, skin melting off and all.
What have you?
Sure. Makes it hard to climb ropes.
It would really sting.
So, Roland, some stuff to write on your character sheet. You are able to speak Draconic. You are also immune to poison,
Oh, that's
but
nice.
you have disadvantage against all saving throws while on sacred ground.
That's cool.
You're going to want to avoid the sacred ground.
You're basically unholy. You were so bad at your
have a
job.
suspicion this is coming up.
And to be clear, you were never able to figure out how you turned into that dragon. You have not been able to repeat it. It's up to you whether you've tried to repeat that, but you certainly have not been able to do so if you have tried.
Transform!
I mean, I've been
Go
bad at
get the
jobs
dragon.
before, but never so bad that holy places reject me.
All right.
Sweet. Thanks, man.
Absolutely. All right. So that brings us back to present day, where the party is in the town of Phandalin. It's probably now close to 10 p.m. Granny and Steve have dragged via a tarp-like structure. I believe it was about 5 bodies. 4 red brands and the wizard Glassstaff, who's
It did take us a while.
We're
Really
very
Arnold Albrecht.
resourceful.
Wait. You keep saying glass staff. What happened here?
He's a corpse
stop
in a
the-
tarp.
Yeah.
Or what remains of a corpse.
Hiller's melted his face off.
A semi-melted corpse.
Is he still recognizable, Trey?
He would not be recognizable, no.
Okay.
I mean, his face melted off. So unless if you want to start showing other body parts around and see if anybody recognizes those, then we can talk.
Hey,
But
I remember this dwarf cock here.
His flesh staff.
I was just, I was wondering if we had the option of telling them about it, telling them that it was glass stuff or not. Which it sounds like
you have that option. You can certainly attempt
Yeah.
to do so, but you're not going to be able to just point at it and see obviously it was him. And,
So
Right.
chances are we ends up burning him.
it would be a very different and darker take on.
I mean,
No, there's
And-
no need to do such things.
and
Everybody's
surprisingly smellier.
okay.
So, the 2 of you have successfully dragged the corpses to the middle of the town square. It's 10 p.m., so a lot of folks are in for the night, but you have attracted a little bit of attention. There's also a fair number of more people out and about tonight than normal because roaring above you is what is now an enormous fire on top of the hill, where the ruins have become completely engulfed. It's broken free.
Who
from
did
the
that?
basement, and
What?
it's just a huge fucking bonfire. Probably 100 feet by 60 feet up on the hill that overlooks the entire town. So people have noticed, and people are out looking at that, and it has not
Like an eclipse?
Yeah, it's basically like the eclipse.
Do they have their
And-
bonfire glasses on?
And well, it's kind of like the eclipse. If when you went out to look at the eclipse and you kind of like shielded yourself from looking at the sun, you noticed somebody dragging 5 corpses down the street.
Not our president.
So the two of you, Granny, Steve, and Droop, I'm going to say, are all in that town square. Can we do a quick check on where everybody else is?
Sure.
I
I
am-
am going
Yeah,
to my aunt's house, and I am going to do like my side quest stuff and like give her money and like talk to her and visit her and stuff.
Yeah, and I don't remember if we ever really covered that, but Queeling Alderleaf, she's the farmer woman who you all visited her and her son
Yeah.
a while back. There's a family relation there for Garrod that I don't know if he's shared with the party.
No, he didn't mention that when we
I
were
did not. I
when
actually
Hillers
did
was
not.
threatening to burn the kid alive.
I was just suggesting that someone would, not me personally.
Not me, but
Yeah,
someone.
you can tell him now that no one will. So.
All right, so Nick is going to the Alderleaf, or Garrod is going to the Alderleaf farm. Zygmundo, you were about to say where you're at.
Yeah, I was going to go back over to the Stonehill Inn to try to get a rest.
All right, so you're just gonna fuck it and
Go
go
to bed.
to bed. Fine. All right, you're.
He's a wizard. Needs his
He
long
ain't got
rest.
time for this nonsense.
Thanks for chipping in, Ziggy.
You head over and there's a fair amount of
Alright.
bustling in the
My hands are already hot enough here on this map.
so as you go into the inn, there's a fair amount of buzz. People are talking about the fire, right? And they're saying, it seems that there are rumors that perhaps the red brands have finally been dealt with. No one yet has mentioned the dead bodies, although you personally suspect that it won't be long before those are noticed. All right, Roland or Recto.
I am back still at the Sleeping Giant. I decided to stay there to make
Okay.
sure everything stayed well. And real quick, is that fire moving anywhere, or is it just sort of up on the hill?
As best as you can tell, looking from your vantage point.
Oh
it
my
seems
god,
to
we
be-
burned the entire town to the ground.
Actually, Roland, go ahead and roll perception.
Nice job, Granny.
That I did not think of.
As best as you can tell, it's currently staying up on the hill.
Nice.
You do know there were some trees around, so it does have that potential. But as far as you can tell, it has not leapt outside of the manor.
Is there a fire department we can call? Like, how does this work in this town? Is there?
Grab a bucket.
Chain.
You don't know.
Okay.
Recto is not aware of what the fire.
Man, we should have bought a
prevention
fire
and control
department.
facilities are.
Yeah, we really should have taken over a fire department building. Okay. I guess I'll roll with Ziggy, just to stay near somebody, not to split us up too much here, since we all seem to just be wanting to go our own way, which I've heard never ends well in this game. So.
All right, so Roland, Zygmundo, and Recto all head back to the stone. Well, no, actually, Roland's at Sleeping Giant. Sorry. So Recto and Zygmundo are over at the Stonehill Inn.
I'll make it
go to
easy. I'll head to Stonehill Inn because it's right,
Alright,
it's
so-
right down the way. I'll make it easy.
So the three
Good
of
call.
you go back to the inn, head
Pretty
to bed.
close.
Garrod's are down at Alderley Farm. Granny, Droop, and Steve are in the town square. Granny and Steve, what do you do? You've got 5 dead bodies, a few onlookers, and maybe the crowd is starting to gather a little bit at this point.
Perfect.
Tarp, I'll say you've got materials sufficient for lighting a fire should one want to.
Is there a convenient soapbox or something that one of us stand upon, deliver us
Get up on the stump.
on the
Well,
step?
there are a few houses and shops nearby, so I'm sure that if you wanted to go grab a crate of some sort from an alley, you'd be able to do so.
I feel like
Yeah,
any
great.
speech delivered in front of a heap of flaming bodies is going to be noticeable.
Yeah.
Populace.
So she turns to Steve and she says, "Would you like to make the address, Steve, or shall I?"
Oh no, but by all means, Granny. People really seem to like you. Really, makes a little spoonful of sugar for the people because of this heap of bodies.
Very well. She jumps up on a little crate and coughs gently, and then yells as loud as she can, "People of Phandalin, you need no longer fear of the Red Brand, for my associates and I rooted out this evil from where they," and she points up at Tressendar Manor, "from where they were hiding out. We have destroyed their destroyed the nest from which these vipers were spawned. And here you see before us the last of them."
So as you're saying this, there's some confused kind of mutterings between some of the onlookers, and then like it turns from confusion pretty quickly to kind of cheer. People are fucking thrilled. So like there's a couple guys that are like arm pumping, and there's even a couple of kids that are like, you can see the reflection of the fire in their eyes, and they're kind of clapping and jumping up and down. So people are morbidly very excited about this.
Yeah, and I'll just chip in. People of Phandalin, now that you are free to conduct your business as you will, we recommend that you do so with the Sleeping Giant. It's a great establishment, and
Under new management.
under new management, the drinks are better, the food is more filling now, and if anyone was to bother Grista there, it would be very upsetting to us. But otherwise, we want you to live your lives and just be free of this influence here. I'd also like to introduce our friend Group. He's not a monster. He's cool, and he's going to be probably around town. Accept him as one of your own.
It is Droop.
Droop kind of quietly mutters, "It's Droop."
Sorry, Droop. Sorry, Droop. It's been a long day. Droop, not Group, is just as good as anybody whose name I can't remember.
So as you talk about the Sleeping Giant, there's one gentleman who appears to be maybe a little bit not sober already. He kind of hoists his coin purse up in there and says, "You've got me coin, lad," and he kind of takes off in the direction of the Sleeping Giant, and a couple other stragglers kind of follow along.
Yeah, drum up some business.
So the crowd is gathering more and more intensely. A few folks like kind of shouted out. People have like flung open their windows, and people are the crowd is gathered. I mean, you've probably got like 30, 40 people now that have expressed interest in seeing what's about to happen. As far as I know, the bodies are currently not on fire.
Not yet, no.
No.
I will light them on fire and say, "People of Phandalin, celebrate! Tonight is your night," and then light the things on fire.
All right. So it doesn't really.
I feel like we just lost a lot of goodwill.
Doesn't really go at first. Like you stick
Takes a minute.
the torch in there. I would say some of the rags kind of light up, but you don't really have much in the way of fuel for the fire.
We need some oil.
Unfortunately, there's a world shortage of.
Nope.
That's right there.
I have 2 flasks. The last 2 flasks of oil on Earth. Does anybody have any extra fire? We could use it.
Yes, I keep it in my back pocket
for these criminals.
So you see that there's so the crowd has started passing a like a wine jug, one of those like soft
That'll
jugs.
Do.
Yeah, they have a wine skin, but it's not filled with wine. It's filled with spirits, and they're passing along, drinking it merrily. And one of them says, "Here, take this," and tosses it to you, and some spills out as it rotates through the air.
flying wine
I
jug.
grab it, take a giant swig, offer Granny a shot or 2,
swig.
And then
halfling-sized swig
onto the heap.
All right, you throw it on, and that the little fire that could kind of catches, and there's after about maybe 20 seconds, a pretty big pop as the wine jug, it's the wine bag or sack or whatever the hell it's called,
skin.
Wine skin. There we go. As it combusts, some sparks fly. Little, not sparks, but little bits of inflamed alcohol kind of shoot out of it, but I think everybody's okay. But it does definitely catch the pile of bodies on fire, makes a much larger spectacle. They're really starting to go now. The flames are up probably 3 feet high at the moment.
Huzzah! Steve does a jig.
Oh God.
And you see a few people kind of turn around and shield their eyes, maybe look a little ill. But there's a lot of other folks who are like really fucking into it. And they're like picking up rocks and throwing them into the pile, and then somebody else kind of you see somebody go up to the person who's about to throw another even larger rock and kind of puts his hand gently on the other person's hand and pushes the hand down and says no, and then he goes and shows them, use sticks instead, and they start throwing wood onto the fire.
Idiot villagers.
They're bringing couches out.
Can Granny call out? Can we? Perhaps we should have a minute of silence for the victims of the Red Brand to remember them.
So go ahead and roll persuasion.
Yeah.
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 Do it.
Not terrible.
All right. So you kind of stand back up on your crate and yell out and say, something along the lines of, what you
Something
just said.
Inspirational.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it seems to take effect on a number of people. I would say probably a lot of the older folks, maybe folks that have had children old enough to have become adults of their own. They seem to kind of settle down a little bit and
good Republican crowd,
and start to think a little bit more calmly about things. But yeah, the younger crowd and even some of the older crowd, no, they're just
Antifa
to be underneath out from the thumb of the Red Brands.
They deserve their time to celebrate.
So as you guys are doing this, and the crowd has grown now, there's probably 60, 70 people. I mean, we're talking about a substantial percentage of Phandalin has now kind of come out of their homes and come to this smaller bonfire of bodies underneath of the site of a much larger bonfire, also of bodies, but also a home. While you're there, you see a large, gruff man kind of shuffle through the crowd and come up to you, and you recognize that it's Sildar Hallwinter. So he's come forward from the Town Master's Hall, and he kind of looks at the two of you. He looks at that fire. He kind of looks around at the fire up on the hill, and he says, "Good God, lads! I knew that you could do something, but I didn't know it'd be this." And he looks simultaneously impressed and also maybe like this isn't exactly how he had wanted it to go. Right. But he seems generally positive about it.
We do burn a lot of stuff.
But only for the greater good.
Yeah, no, for good, obviously.
He says, well, look, lads, you've done me a great favor here. I told you that I would take care of you if you took care of the Red Brands. Why don't you come by the Town Master's office tomorrow, and we'll talk shop, and we'll get you set up and taken care of. And I'm going to send word back immediately to the Lord's Alliance. They will also be very happy, very impressed. There might be more work with the Alliance if you gentlemen and lass ever would like some.
Sounds good to me. We'll see you.
We've done nothing more than our civic duty. Thank you, sir.
I don't know. I did a little bit more of my civic duty.
So Sildar kind of hangs around for a minute, looks around, watches the crowd, doesn't really partake in the festivities, but eventually kind of pushes his way back off into the crowd, and you lose sight of him.
Fair
enough. At this point, I would propose turning in for the night, and then assuming that the town session, as listed, proceeds.
All right, Granny.
So we get Dr. Fat Horse.
Gotta get Dr. Fat Horse. Yeah. Granny's going to just make sure that the fire is contained in the town square, like it's not in danger of setting the town on fire, and
Yeah.
that the revelers aren't too revelly.
Okay.
Just like check on everybody before she packs it in for the.
Great. So Steve heads off towards the Stonehill Inn. Granny sticks around. It doesn't take too long for the fire to die down a little bit. The bodies aren't necessarily great fuel for the fire, so not all of it burned. By the time the alcohol burns off and some of the twigs and all of that and the clothes, it kind of goes down to a slow roast within an hour or so. And it looks pretty safe. There's a bunch of people getting drunk and kind of wooting and hollering, but there's nothing excessively violent happening. So Granny, probably after maybe 2 hours, it's probably safe enough for you to.
How about the fire on the hill? Still kind of the same.
Still a rager.
Still blazing away.
No,
It should be okay. It's fairly well contained.
Okay.
Up on that hill there, I guess.
By the way, I suggested to Droop before I left that he could sleep at the woodworkers if he wanted to.
Yeah, it's a pretty good idea.
So you guys want to, turn in for the night and then
Yep, we
Long
can
rest.
skip ahead to the
start
morning.
anew?
All right, so all of you get a long rest.
Nice.
Is Droop sleeping at the woodworker's shop?
He sleeps
Yeah.
wherever he wants to. I'm just telling him
Yeah.
he can if he wants.
Well, I'd
Granny
say
will,
he follows Granny, so he'll kind of
Yeah.
do what Granny asks.
Granny will take Droop to the woodworker's house.
I'm gonna go there,
Get
too.
back to you in the morning.
I'm gonna go to the woodworker shop too.
So Recto left the Stonehill Inn and went over to the woodworker shop?
Yep.
Okay. All right, and
So
Granny,
after
are
Granny
you...
didn't come-
Because I'm not paying to sleep somewhere when I have two places that I own.
That's fair. I as well will head over to the woodworker.
Yeah, that's
If
it. That's it.
if that's a free night's sleep.
We're all swayed by Recto's point.
After the
That
tavern, after the
things
innkeep
cost
asks for
money.
a coin. Wait a minute.
What? No, that
They're gonna
doesn't
have
seem right.
comfy beds though.
Whatever.
all right, yeah, there's
Steve's
not-
used to sleeping on rock.
I mean, if I
There's
can
only-
sleep in the woods, then I can sleep on a wooden floor. I'll be fine.
That's fine. There's only 3 mattresses of sorts, and they're just like kind of hay mattresses at the woodworker shop. But if you guys are comfortable sleeping on the floor, then
I call Big Spoon.
Nice. Hey, remember everybody
can
gets
see
their
the
hit
little
points
spoon.
back and their
Yep.
hit dice was one
Yep.
half.
So, quick
so
question.
it is a long rest. You're officially taking a long rest right now. This I think is your first long rest, right? Of
wow.
any real meaning, anyway.
Quick question: If we have 3 hit dice now, which everybody does, and we have 1 left, we take a long
Round up.
rest. Do we go back
You
up to
get-
3?
you get half of your total hit dice back rounded up.
Rounded
That
up.
means you're gonna
Okay.
get 3
Cool.
Yeah, half of your expended hit dice, or half of your total.
total. Here, let me share another link that I also have just found.
Great. So that would mean
Roll
you're
20.
each going to get 2 dice back right now,
Nice.
up to a maximum of 3.
Right, so you'd be at 3 if you were at 1.
And all your spells, Granny. Nice.
All my spells.
Yeah, all you
Land
spells
it.
be back.
Good stuff.
Hey, how do you keep track of your spells when you've used them? You just kind of write them down somewhere, or is there like another method?
So there's 2 little tickers on this spell sheet. So I
Yeah.
just use one for like the number that I compare each day for how many I've used. No, wait, it's maximum that I can use, and then how many I've used. Sorry.
Which ticker are you talking about? Because I have one that turns red if I have.
Just above the spells, you'll see if you.
Yeah, so there's 2.
Oh, yes,
when
yes.
I said ticker, I mean a
Okay,
incrementer, decrementer.
right.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
2 energy fields, I should say. Yeah.
Right.
The checks are for which ones you have.
I'm good to go.
All right. So in the morning, everybody wakes up. Steve is off early in the morning, about town. On the way out, Steve notices a fair number of kind of drunken, folks in the bottom of the Stonehill Inn who are mostly kind of comatose. Some are starting to kind of wake up a little bit, but it looks like there was a party that went relatively late into the night. Or I guess you wouldn't have seen this. You would have maybe seen a few people near the woodworker shop, kind of passed out in alleys with some puke off to the side. That you could tell that the town had some festivities last night after you guys all went to bed. So Steve goes off and does a little bit of merchant business. Steve and I'm assuming you come back after you've dealt with all of that.
Read the town session, and can I add to it a general asking about if there's a place, if I can identify that sword, and if so, actually going and identifying it.
So they most of the folks around town. So where are you asking? Are you asking like the shopkeepers?
Well, everywhere I go, I as part of the town session, I go broadly about town to introduce Droop.
Is there a town wizard?
There does not appear to be a
Hedge
town
witch.
There does not appear to be a town wizard.
Maybe
or
the
a
smithy?
head witch. But there are some people tell you that if you're asking about swords, the smithy is the right guy to ask. Others also mention that when it comes to kind of the arcane and the magical, Sister Gorilla might know more than the rest of the locals.
All right, I'll head to Sister Gorilla first.
I'm going to accompany him.
I'd like to go there as well.
So yeah, Steve, how about this? How about you learn that?
Yep.
You do the rest of your town business, and then you come back to where everybody is.
Do we need to cover Garad going down to the elderly farm? Was there anything that happened down there?
He is currently still there, and Quelline, of course, let him stay in the
little Game of Thrones kind of business going on there.
Gross. I'm just trying to identify the sword. I'm not trying to.
Yeah. So, Garad, is there anything that you want to accomplish while you're down at the farm?
So to speak. So.
And I'll just start wandering back in now. And the next day, I'll just start wandering into town, and I assume that I will just bump into the group.
Yeah,
that's fine.
His name is Droop.
Oh.
All right. So everybody's back together. You're all over by the woodworking shop.
And we have a horse.
Dr. Fat Horse. Everyone, I'd like you to meet our new draft horse, Dr. Fat Horse.
we can't call him Choppy.
Oh,
it's just slightly more.
He's going to be a loyal companion that is going to carry all our liquidatable goods and also provide advice as necessary, presumably to Rowan.
Advice we're providing here.
Look, who
Advice
knows?
on how to be a horse.
Time will tell. Time will tell.
Course.
I'm sure he'll have critiques of our adventures.
I actually, Troy, would like to modify what I just said about
Okay.
things that I want to accomplish while I was there.
Yep.
Can I have her run the woodworking shop? Discuss with her about running the woodworking shop while we are off adventuring.
Yeah. So
Queline?
Yeah. So you talk with her about it, and why don't you roll persuasion?
Oh boy, we're gonna have to resolve this. Could you have read Steve Dark Magic's town session even once before you did that?
So Quelline seems pretty reluctant currently. So she mentions that she does have a farm that she has to farm on.
I guess that does keep her busy.
And her son Carp is as best you
Scared
can tell.
to death of going outside now.
Yeah, that part's not so great. He probably doesn't want to become entirely in the employ of Steve and his friends.
Come work for me.
But Carp's not quite old enough to run the farm himself yet. He's probably about 10 years old. Would be
Okay.
around the age that he's at. So yeah, she doesn't give you a hard no, but she gives you one of those, well, I don't know, and feel like you got a lot more work to do there if you really want to make it happen.
Okay. Sorry, go ahead.
All right, so you're all back together. You've met Dr. Fat Horse.
Yay! So excited.
All right, we're going to Sister Gariel's.
Sure. Yeah, that's where I'm headed. Hey guys, in our giant heap of non-liquidatable goods that I'm loading onto the good doctor here, we do have this sword. It's kind of glowy. It looks sort of weird. I mean, not amazing at magic, but I am sort of magic. And
I'll
this
actually
is-
take. Actually, you know what?
I think we should get an expert opinion on what this sword is and what it can do.
We should probably know what it is before we decide what. Yes.
Yeah, I agree. Figure out what it is.
And to that end, the only somewhat magic-y person we've seen is Sister Gorilla. So I was gonna head to her house.
Wait, didn't we do that, or we?
And I invite anyone who would like to come to come with.
Of course.
Yep.
Yep.
Sure, I'll go.
Yes.
Also,
Not
by
yet
the
met
way,
the good sister.
we're all property owners now, and Droop will be our agent at the Woodworker once he's shown us the way to Cragmaw.
He's our Alfred.
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys head off. It's pretty early morning. I'm going to say it's probably maybe 8 or 9 o'clock at this point. So Steve was able to get some early morning deals going with the merchants.
Boom.
And so
You're all welcome.
you make your way
Thanks,
in. You make your way back to the northeast portion of the town where the Shrine of Luck sits, which you previously visited. Granny, I don't think you were with the group at that time.
No, I read the logs from there. So, but
Great.
in character, I don't know much. Yeah.
All right, so you guys kind of open the doorway. You see the gigantic kind of false coin that represents the shrine at which the worshippers are able to pay tribute. And as you kind of open the doors, you see Sister Grella come out from her office on the eastern side of the building, and she looks like she expected you. In particular, she gives a faint smile and nod to Recto as he walks in.
Ooh.
She says,
Ho, ho, ho.
"I hear you have all been quite busy."
Oh yeah, we burned so many things.
Who told you? How could you possibly have known?
She says, "Well, word's getting around town relatively quickly. There was I don't know if you all slept last night, but there was quite a bit of noise in the streets. People were going around shouting some of your names, and they're even calling you the Flames of Tressendar right now. So
Nice.
they're all awfully excited."
That is badass.
We prefer the Sunshine Carpet Cleaners, but
No, we don't.
yeah, the problem that we discussed, Sister Gorilla has been taken care of.
And she kind of looks at you in a simultaneously. Well, why don't you roll? What are you going to roll? You're going to roll insight.
All right.
You feel like she doesn't want you talking too much about some of the missions and other discussions that the two of you have had about your Harper business. As far as the rest of the party should know, she wants to just be known as just a kindly patron of the shrine.
Got it.
Right. We don't know. Like she's the secret agent, whatever.
Okay.
Super secret spy.
So, but she kind of nods like, okay, he's new at this.
Yeah, I'm just a watcher, for God's sakes. Come on.
But she's clearly happy with the result. But
Such a
wants
tiny
to
little
kinda
man.
give you wants to kind of give you like the keep your cool.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it later. Kind of head nod.
Did you want to show the sword, Steve?
Yeah, sister, we did find something amongst our conflagration there that we thought you might be able to help us out with. I don't know what this is. It does seem magical in nature. Is there? Do you know? Can you help us identify this, or do you know anyone that might be able to provide a little bit more information about the sword that we found concealed amongst the belongings of a Nothic?
She kind of looks puzzled for a minute and very intrigued, and she takes the scabbard and sword from you, and the scabbard is inlaid with silver all the way up and down the scabbard, and she's able to pull the sword free by maybe half a foot from the scabbard, just kind of release it a little bit and say, well, it's not my specialty, but I might have some information. Let me look around. There's frankly probably not many swords of this caliber near Phandalin. This is quite exquisite.
Yeah, it's very nice.
Do we know this is a short sword?
It's a long sword.
It is a long sword.
Okay, gotcha.
So she kind of pulls it out, and then she pulls it out a little bit further, and she kind of runs one of her fingers along the side of the blade, and she says Talon, and she kind of shows you, and inscribed along the side of the blade is the word Talon, in common, and you can see that the hilt of the sword looks like a bird of prey, like a hawk or something. So that seems to tie together. And she says, "Well, I think I might have an idea." And she hands the sword back to you, and heads back off into her office for a few minutes.
It's Valerian
Well, that
steel.
was cryptic.
That's what I'm thinking. Valerian steel.
That was a cool name for a sword.
Yes. I mean, this is going to be Garrod's sword, right? I mean, we're pretty sure on this one.
I'm
Yeah,
not using it.
nobody else can wield it.
Right. Yeah. Assuming it's not a quest item.
Probably great for killing White Walkers.
If he doesn't want it, I'm sure it's worth a lot of money. We'll just put it on Dr. Fat Horse and add it to the heap.
Right.
If he doesn't want it, I'm sure it's
Oh,
worth
that's
a
me.
lot of
My
money.
bad.
Open up Twitch. Yeah.
I'm gonna mute myself real quick and open that up.
Yep. So a few minutes later, Sister Gorilla comes back out, and she's holding a book and a scroll. And she walks up to Steve and says, "I suspect that the answer you're looking for might be in this book. It will tell you more about where that sword came from. But when it comes to identifying, if this thing is magical or not, I wish I could tell you, but that's frankly not my talent. But
Like what chapter?
As a thank you for all of the work that you've done for this town," and she kind of looks at Recto directly again, and she looks back to Steve, hands the scroll over, and says, "This scroll might help you identify what kind of magic, if any, courses through that sword."
Excellent. Happy to have that, sister. Thank you very much, and I'm happy to put in a good word for you with my dear friend Recto here. Seems like you guys, have a little something there, and I appreciate that.
Is he misunderstanding the relationship?
Yes.
She looks a little. She kind of blushes a little bit.
No, it's all right. I'm very discreet.
She goes, "Okay, well, let me know if there's anything else I can do to help," and kind of scurries back into her office.
Actually, before she goes, does the name the Black Spider mean anything to you?
She turns back and says, "The Black Spider? Well, it doesn't, but if you're asking, I'm guessing it's important."
Yeah, a little. I mean, do you think anyone might know? I mean, he just signs it with a spider, so we're very confused.
Well, I don't know the answer, but I do have, well, let's just say I have friends from out of town that I might be able to ask, and I'll let you know what I find out. Come back tomorrow, and we can discuss.
Looking forward to it. I'm hoping they're shapely friends.
She closes the door to her office this time.
Granny will turn to the rest of the group and say, "Thank you for helping me cleanse this town of the red brand. As promised, I will now help you out with what you've got going on."
This is going to be so great, Granny. I'm very excited that we're back together.
We do make a good team,
So it's like old times.
just like old times.
So many things on fire.
Preferably without you having any more accidents.
So, Steve, you take a look down at the book she gave you, and it's a study on the genealogy of the lords of Phandelver. Basically, the everyone who's ever held office in the keep of sorts. Not quite a keep, but the manor that you just burnt down.
Because we did have a suspicion that this sword belonged to a lord, right?
It certainly seems like it belonged to somebody who had access
Had
to
a lot of money.
Yeah.
All right, let's do a little. Little homework. Read the book.
All right.
Check the index for Talon.
TLDR. I'll ask Granny what it says.
Okay. So later today, you can, when you have some downtime, you can do that research.
Cool.
If I was into fully reading books, I wouldn't have summoned an unspeakable evil in the first place.
It's true. You would have just stayed in school.
I would have just not done that.
And so, and that scroll is a scroll of identify.
Yes. All right, so let's take 8 hours for
Uh,
Zigmundo to read to learn identify.
And
So-
a fair amount of gold, by the way. So
It does cost.
make
Yeah.
sure you
Isn't
look.
it like 50?
Just-
Hold on, how much is it?
How much gold is it? That's a fair point. I need to add it to our treasury.
How much gold is what?
Identify the spell. How much does
Basically, it costs time and gold to transcribe a scroll into a wizard's spell book.
How much
Ooh.
gold?
Yeah,
It's true.
I'm looking that up right now, actually.
Because we should definitely have that one in his spell book.
Maybe we should just go kill some orcs and then
Yeah.
Yeah.
revisit that later.
yeah, so we've got
We'll do it in a town session.
we've got a few options on what we want to do here. We can go kill the orcs. We can go to Thunder Tree, or we can go try to rescue Gundren.
I think the orcs were the first order of business. It seemed like a one-off. It's 200 gold, and they said that they might have some more information about where the some of our locations were.
I think we're going to be having to head that way to kind of go north anyways, so...
Okay.
I'm assuming
Well,
also, actually, I have a question too, and this is a DM question.
Yep.
Does time, does it matter where we do this, or is Gundren always going to be okay until we do that quest?
Yeah, so this is a general D&D thing. Like, things happen without your guys' involvement.
It's not an
So,
MMO.
yeah, like if you guys,
Yeah, he's
So, like,
definitely dead by now, y'all.
if
Not definitely,
wanna,
just probably.
It's only been
so
a day.
if you wanted to sell the Sleeping Dragon and sell the Word Worker Shop and then all move to Waterdeep and become pirates, like, we can do that. But, like, the Black Spider is going to, like, his plans are going to play out.
Idea.
Yeah.
So that's just something to be aware of.
Yeah.
All right, let's go
Well,
find.
being
I say we
pirate-
go do it. I say we find what's his name.
Being pirates might be fun.
You should go
I'm
stay
all
on
about
that.
Catches if we're on the open sea.
Fun.
So are the do we?
Because it's only been like a day. Sorry, Mar. It's only been like a day since we've got this quest, right? Like,
No, it's been at least a week. I mean, you know how many days we spent going out to that stupid Banshee's house?
Yeah,
It
we
was like
did.
3 days.
Oh, an old mate's just been trapped somewhere as prisoner. Should probably go.
Well,
It's been at least a week.
when you say it that way, I
We
mean,
had a long rest. Let's go.
Do we
Yeah,
know
I
where
would
it
say,
is?
I would say it's probably been about a week since your
So-
first
so-
encounter on the trail.
question on the map here: the orcs that we need to clear out, are they on the way to the to where we think the Cragmaw Castle is?
Yeah, so let me go ahead and move you guys back to the big map.
I
Thank
think
you.
it was because the Triboar Trail goes north, and the Cragmaw, he said, was
Right.
north, I believe.
Yep. And let me
So
go
we
ahead
can
and
kind of knock out two with one stone there.
That'd be good.
And so Harbin Wester would have been happy to, let's just assume that you guys asked him for more detailed specifics about
Oh, yeah.
where Wiventor is.
Yeah, we swing back to the. Yep. We do that.
And he's happily willing to tell you that it is here.
Okay. And where does Droop think Cragmaw Castle is?
He tells you that Cragmaw Castle is somewhere around here.
Oh, neat.
Around
Alright.
where?
Right there, right in
Unlock
front
it.
of us. Wait,
Wait,
we
so it's
basically
Cragmaw
passed
Castle.
it about 6 times.
Oh,
So yeah, we could head up the Tribor, kill some orcs, duck into the forest.
And then head right on back to Cragmaw on our way back through town. Does that sound good
Wait.
to everybody?
no. Wyvern Tor is to the east, right? It's not really on the way.
Or
Not
we could
really.
just go straight to Cragmaw and hit Wyvern
Yeah.
Tor on the way back.
Let's just go straight to Cragmaw, right?
Is that where?
It's going to be
is that
quite
where,
that. Do we need anything before we
Yeah,
go
we have
there?
to get supplies, the new travel rules and everything we're doing.
Okay.
Yep.
How much does supplies cost?
They're not very expensive.
Meaning.
Well, pull up the rules. I think that it's
Do the rule book work?
just eyeball it for me so I can add it to my accounting list
all right. Hold on a second. We pull it
It's in the
back.
form, I believe, yeah.
for 6 of us.
So it depends a little bit on how fast of a pace you want to go, but camping supplies themselves, it's about 2 gold per day.
At a medium pace.
Well, there's some other.
Well, no, I think we want to do a normal pace.
Yeah, like regular. Dr. Fathorse doesn't go that
A
fast.
normal pace gives us 20, gives us 4 hex spots per day. We have to do a DC 10 check against strength or suffer 1 level of exhaustion. The save isn't necessary if we have access to mounts or vehicles.
Looks
2
like
gold
about
per
2
day.
days.
So
two-
1,
2 days
2,
for the
3,
Cragmaw.
4, yeah, and then, but we're also going to Wyvern Tor on the way. So let's call it 10 days, 20 days, 20 gold off the tack, right? So we got 10 days worth of supplies.
Is
Did
that
you
expensive?
account for the way back?
Yeah, well, I'm accounting for Cragmaw to Wyvern Tor and back. I'm thinking 10 days.
All right.
And that's for the it's 20 gold a person.
How
No,
do
20 gold altogether.
Two gold a day covers all the materials that you guys need to that's like tents and pots and pans and rations, everything you need to be on the trail.
Nice.
These
Good.
throwaway tents.
All of
Right,
which
but
is
I'm saying it's 2 gold. I mean, there's 6 of us though.
Right, the 2 gold covers that for a party.
teacher.
Okay.
It's like a Costco trip.
You save money in bulk.
Yeah, okay. All right, so we loaded up carefully on Dr. Fathorse,
Well,
encouraging him.
here's the other question. Do we want to try to obtain mounts? Because then we don't have to roll against strength and possibly suffer levels of exhaustion, and levels of exhaustion really hurt. For instance, level 1 gives you a disadvantage on all ability checks.
Can
Well,
we hire
Dr.
some horses?
Fathorse is 50. Yeah, what is it to rent horses? Is that an option, Troy?
Yeah, I'm sure if you ask around, you'd be able to rent horses.
For what amount?
Especially this town loves you guys, right? So,
Friends and family discount is what?
Saviors of the town discount, more like it.
Yeah. If you wanted to just rent horses, I would imagine that you'd be able to find folks at the Alderley Farm and other places that would give you a few steeds for free if you were returning them, and if you wanted to buy them, it would probably be a 50% discount off of list.
Does that include Dr. Fathorse? Because because I need to redo my math.
It did not include Dr. Fathorse.
Damn it.
See,
Okay,
someone can ride him. Yeah.
let's just do it for free and bring him back. We're coming back anyway. We own property.
Yeah, I mean, we plan on coming back. I don't know that we'll tell him if we don't bring him back, we'll pay him. But
Yeah. All right, so we rent horses
Great, done.
for
Awesome.
0.
Good call.
Yep. So you each have like a basic draft horse.
Mine is named Bossick.
I'll take
Bossick,
the
the
smallest
basic
one.
horse.
Okay. Granny, if you would prefer, you could get like a mule or
Oh yeah, a pony.
donkey or
Or
pony.
dog.
Pony.
Is there a riding dog?
Riding
I don't know that you could find a riding dog in Phandalin,
That's fine.
Riding dog.
but you could definitely get a smaller version of a horse.
Yeah, I'll take a pony.
There we go. So you've got a pony instead.
It's adorable.
all right. So we got the money worked out. Our plan is to go at normal pace, riding on the mounts.
Right, straight north. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 hexes. I don't know. It's on the border. So
Okay.
Well, we want to stay along the trail as far as we can until it doesn't make sense as it pertains to getting to Cragmaw. Right.
It's a good fun as
It's
well.
still gonna be it's still 2 days no matter
4,
what you do.
5, 6, 7. Then
All right. So can I say that you guys move to here, which would be 4, so that's like the maximum for normal pace, and you camp here on the trail.
Yep.
Mhm.
All right. And let's just see.
good job, Dr. Fat Horse.
Already paying off.
Yeah.
And reminders. So when you camp, is there going to be? This would actually be maybe helpful if you guys came up with a general watch order.
Can we roll initiative for that? Just, unless it's
So
someone-
elves.
Do it.
Let's keep in mind elves only need 4 hours of sleep.
What about half elves?
I don't know. You're a half elf. You'd have to tell us.
I believe
Yes.
I'm a high
Hi.
elf, not a half elf.
Steve's a half elf.
I'm a half elf.
Yeah,
And I do
I
have
think
night.
me and Doomspark are elves, so we only need 4
Oh, man.
hours.
That's right, you got to. Nice.
All right. Well, you two should take both the first watches then,
I'll take second watch.
and I'll go with him. So we have a melee and a speller.
I'll take
Yeah.
whichever watch is left, the last one.
There's none.
Yeah,
You-
I'll go wherever I need to go.
Roland and Granny get to sleep all night.
Yes.
Well, it wouldn't hurt if you don't need to sleep to be awake, because in case something comes, you won't be prone or you'll be ready, just in case something happens.
Yeah. Maybe we should do like a staggered.
We'll work it out.
We'll figure that out later. Let's just for this one.
All right.
Let's just say.
Or
So
assume there's at least 2 people on watch at all times.
maybe since we're so disorganized, Troy, just roll randomly. Just
Yeah.
when the
So here's going to be my ask: is after this game, can somebody volunteer to come up with a watch order, post it to the forums as like the default watch order, and I'll
I'll do
just
it.
use that every time moving forward, unless you guys say, I want to do something different this time.
Sure,
I'll
sounds
do
good.
it.
it's a good idea.
Great.
Thanks, Steve.
All right, so you guys were, and by the way, part of being on the trail is that it's a little bit less dangerous than the wilderness. Although you can sometimes that can backfire, and you can bandits and brigands also frequent trails. In this case, you were able to make it through the night with no interruptions. Some howling wolves in the distance, but nothing got close enough to worry anybody.
Very good.
Great.
So it's the morning. You guys have broken camp. You've cooked your breakfast. You're ready to take off. Just straight north.
Yep.
All right. Give me a minute to set something up.
Bio break. I'll be right back.
Yeah, one moment before we enter the castle, guys. I want to talk to you for a second.
Guys, I've been really aware of this entire time. In fact, Dr. Felix and I are getting married tomorrow.
Dr. Fat Horse and I have a deeply romantic relationship. No,
I've got the stone skin disease. Don't touch me.
that's not it. I'm just we seem to be making good time. Before we enter the castle, I'm gonna need about an hour to do just some light communing with darkness.
I think that's a good idea.
Oh, you got a feeling you do. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and don't be alarmed. He's fine. Okay.
He may look
And-
a bit like a demon.
It looks
More
kind
than coming.
of demonic.
He's demonish.
But he does what I tell him to, and he won't bite you or anything of that nature.
It's okay, I'm not that kind of paladin.
Keep saying it like that, yo.
Also, if we're facing the castle, about to head there, we should probably send Droop home.
Yeah. So Droop was not with you on the road.
Yeah, he
Oh, he just
didn't-
showed us.
He just told us where it was.
Good
Yeah.
business. Good business. All right.
But we
And
do
he
want to
wasn't
make
really
sure
exact.
the horses are in a safe, inconspicuous spot.
Yeah, we'll tie up the horses and do my summoning ritual away
All right.
from in the woods before they can see us.
And
Realistically, what are we
Droop's
doing?
directions weren't exact, but they were able to get you close enough that you were able to see the castle's relatively large. So once he got you within, some distance, you were able to figure out the rest on your own. You tie up the horses. Everybody else kind of hangs out and takes a little bit of a breather and collects themselves for whatever comes ahead. While Steve calls forth a demonic entity.
His name is Hansy. He has a name.
And Steve, do you want to describe what he looks like?
Well, you have a picture of him, right? Everyone will be able to see him. Yeah.
Yep. So let me.
So
pull
they'll
this
know.
up.
I've told him not to be alarmed because
All right.
he looks pretty nasty.
That's. Yep.
That looks like the guy I saw at Starbucks today.
Yeah. He's hell's barista.
How big is he?
As an imp, he'd probably be 2 or 3 feet.
Oh, cool.
But he can shapeshift into like a wide variety of things,
Very cool.
and also turn invisible. He can help us. He can do a help action. He can attack.
Oh, very cool. Yeah.
He can carry things. He can do as an invisible entity. I can see what he sees, and so if he needs to explore an area for us, he can do so invisibly, and we will know in advance what is back there.
Is he a familiar?
How much
Is someone
research
part of
did
the
you
Find
do to
Familiar
get
spell?
this power?
You got to do a fair bit of communing with the powers of darkness on the main. I wouldn't recommend it. Hansy here
I wouldn't recommend it.
often recommends that I do things that I would find morally questionable. I try to steer clear of that. He's a persuasive little guy. He does grow on you over time, despite his horrific appearance.
Pets do resemble illness.
Yeah, but he is going to be an extremely useful member of our party, and I think he can help us a lot in what I think might be a difficult
right.
encounter.
Let's do it.
All right. So, actually, you know what? I think I might turn off dynamic lighting again because I think it worked better when we did the fog of war instead.
Yeah, that's fine.
So let me just re-reveal some of this stuff to you.
Won't be foggy for long if we need to know what's back there.
Chris, did you lose your voice? What's going on with you?
A little bit. I caught something.
Yeah.
Bummer.
That
I was
doesn't do
doing
with how much drinking you were doing last night.
or karaoke.
We're a rocket bar.
If anyone was wondering if I killed Don't Stop Believin', I did.
And it killed you.
And then it killed him, yeah.
And it killed me right back.
Alright, so just a minute.
We spent entirely too much money in that bar.
Yeah, we did.
Where'd you guys go?
Rocket Grill.
Oh, yeah, that's you were down in Old Town.
Yeah.
Yeah. Michelle's like, you had like $200. Do you have any of that left? I was like, no.
Hey, so I was tuning in at like 1:15. When did it actually get going?
It starts at 9:30, karaoke.
No. You guys were obviously there for the fight, or you guys were just there for karaoke?
Oh, well, no, we just went for drinking and karaoke.
Ah, damn it. Now I really hate the fact that I was in Cape May.
Cape May's nice. You probably feel better than we do today.
Yeah. I went to sleep at 3:20 and woke up at 5:30
Yeah.
to do parenting.
Ouch.
Oh.
Yeah, part of the reason Steve is less than full voice this evening.
Kids give zero fucks if you're hungover, too.
No, they
That's very true.
do not care.
All
All right.
Let's get
So-
on this.
Gentlemen, I would offer that we can enter and do our usual kicking the door down, or if we think something is
It looks
maybe
like
a little more dangerous than usual, Our
like the
friend
door's already
Hansy
kicked
can
down.
go in there invisibly.
Looks like the door's already kicked down.
All
Yeah,
right,
this
yeah.
first
So,
one is for sure.
all right. So, you guys kind of walk through a clearing in the Neverwinter Forest, and you see a pretty large, pretty dilapidated castle in front of you. It's there's 7 crumbling towers that you can see from a fair distance. Different
7.
sizes and heights to the different towers. Looks like they were maybe built at different time periods as the castle grew. All of the upper stories are in various states of collapse, so it doesn't look like anything other than the base level is likely usable at this point. There's a short flight of steps on either side of kind of this terrace out in front of the main entryway. There are these 2 enormous doors, probably 12 feet tall, that once hung there, but are now, as you can see, kind of collapsed in front of you. Beyond those doors is a relatively dark, I would say dim hall. There are 2 large towers flanking this entrance on either side. There are some arrow slits in the various towers looking out, but currently you cannot look into them very easily.
This place looks pretty busted, guys. Do you want to just sort of go in?
Seems
can I
seems
be
like
first?
a good investment opportunity.
Do you want me to be first?
Neverwinter, flip that house.
Do you guys want to pick? Do you guys want to tell me what general marching order you have?
By all means, Garrod, lead the way.
I mean, I would say
Yeah.
let the imp go in if he can really go invisible and tell us stuff.
So let me ask you a different question. How far away from the tower, from the castle, are you? Don't necessarily care about where I put you on the map right now.
That's what you're saying.
Pretty close enough to obviously have perceived everything that you said, and seeing that it was dilapidated, maybe a little bit closer than farther away.
Yeah.
So I don't know, 50 feet.
Okay. So you're about 8 squares further out than what I've shown you. And yeah, just tell me kind of what, if you guys are going to approach, who's approaching, what order, etc.
I'm in the back. I'm done charging in as a wizard. I'm in the back.
But now you have that extra +1 AC. You should be the tank.
I do have that extra +1 AC, and I do have the ability to cast all sorts of defensive shit
Basically,
as an action.
All right, so I'm gonna kind of use the bottom as the back.
Gotcha.
So this is not like actually where you guys are. It's just I don't have a lot of space on the map.
I also have a question. If I were to use that sword that hasn't been identified, will we discover what the sword does on our own?
Ooh,
Interesting.
good question. Let me Google that.
That is scary and exciting at the same time.
just wield it and see what happens. I love that.
Yeah.
That's what the flames of Tressendar are all about.
I feel like it doesn't work. Like usually in most other stuff, it basically acts as whatever the weapon class it is until you get it identified to be able to activate it.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I've never tried.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing as well. But the other thing I'm seeing is that might only apply to magic items that require attunement.
Definitely.
Diablo
yeah.
2, you're absolutely correct.
Yeah. Yeah, generally need attunement. I
I
don't
mean,
know.
it's still a longsword. It's not like it's a bad weapon.
Right. And
So,
still,
like, basically, you would have it equipped as a longsword, and until it's identified, you would just use it as a longsword.
Well, I think you would also potentially get any benefits or detriments that come to it that aren't related to attunement. So attunement is
Like if it's a +1 sword, I'll know that it's a +1 sword based on my rolls. Like I'll be like, oh hey, by the way, now it's a plus. Like I'll like right.
yes, but if
Like if
there's
I can make it shoot fire, like I wouldn't know that I can do that, so I wouldn't be able to do that.
right.
that's right.
Like
Yep.
if we can shoot fireballs.
That's what we need. We need more fire.
Agreed.
This is a castle. We can't burn down a castle.
Oh, yeah?
Hey,
That wasn't a challenge.
challenge.
So I'm gonna say that Nick, what we just said is the way we'll rule this is you'd be able to get any like +X benefit out of it, but you won't be able to get any attunement based abilities out of it.
That's fine.
And in terms of marching order,
So hold on, and I do reserve the right to, if you try to wield a cursed item even without attuning it,
you're still cursed.
Yeah,
So good, yeah.
because fuck that.
That's totally fair.
It can only hurt me. Fair enough.
If you had to be attuned to a curse, no one would be cursed.
Right, who would do that? Who would volunteer that?
I love that Sister Gorilla gave us this scroll, and she's like, "You can learn about it," and we're just like, "Nah, fuck it, we'll just swing it around and see what happens."
Let's just see.
So I looked that up. It cost me 50 gold and 2 hours per level
Okay.
Jesus.
to transcribe.
All right, so I'm
that.
going
You
for
wouldn't have been
first.
able to do that.
Is identify level 1?
Yeah.
I pasted a link right there. Right as
Yeah.
the last thing.
Identify as a first level spell.
So I'm happy to say that if you want to have spent that gold,
Spent.
then I can say that you just did that while Steve was summoning dark forces beyond his control.
Great. I mean, we're taking that out of the kitty.
Pansy is within my control.
He's only kind of beyond his control.
Wait, what? What did you say, Chris?
I said Hansy is within my control.
What I was saying is, are we taking the 50 gold out of the kitty out of Dr. Fat Horse?
Yes.
Okay. So, Steve, Chris, could you please subtract that?
Yes. Yeah, I'm treasuring this whole time.
Treasurer? Noted
Right.
down.
Thank you.
All right, so so you add that to your spell book, Zigmundo.
Do I?
Now know.
I'm gonna put that as a cantrip. How do I keep track of that on
Well,
this?
it's not a cantrip. It's a first level spell, but what I would suggest is that you don't mark it as it's a known
It's not
spell, but
prepped.
it's not prepped. But
Yeah.
that you can still cast it as a ritual, and casting as a ritual I think only adds 10 minutes to the casting time.
So
illuminate
does-
ritual casting time is 10 minutes.
So you
And
can't do it
what's
in combat.
considered?
Why would you?
Yeah, it's identify.
Are you using
Oh,
materials for requirements to cast spells?
yeah. Gotcha.
Yes, but keep in mind that unless it says that a material component is consumed, then just having a magic focus
Or a component pouch.
is sufficient. But yeah, and I believe all the casters have one, because I think that's generally part of when you roll your character, you get one.
Mhm.
I do.
But if you guys have any spells that do have a consumed component, which I doubt you do at this stage, probably, I am going to say that is going to be consumed.
Chromatic orb, for example.
Yeah.
Costs a lot of money.
Okay, not prepped. Ritual. Oh, it actually says here ritual's casting time 1 minute. Are you going to change that to 10?
You add 10
Oh.
minutes when you cast it as a ritual.
It's already, so this is why I'm asking you, is because when I dragged it over, it's already flagged as a ritual, and it says casting time 1.
Being
It's
flagged as ritual
identified.
just
It
means
doesn't matter.
being flagged as ritual just means it can be cast as a ritual.
Okay. So,
Yeah. So 1
10
minute is the ordinary casting time if you
Gotcha.
cast it not as a ritual, but you add 10 minutes.
So
For
it's
a total
11
of
minutes if you want to cast it as a ritual. Yeah, the ritual flag just means, because some spells cannot be cast as a ritual no matter what.
And ritual
Yeah.
means it doesn't use a spell slot.
You just read it
Correct.
from the book
Yep.
to cast it rather than memorizing it.
Right. So I was just wondering if that we're all clear now. It's fine.
Good. So Zigmundo casts Identify over it. He's got the sword sitting in his lap, kind of withdraws it from the scabbard, kind of looks at this book, kind of does some cool hand jigglies, and he's like, yeah, it's a +1 sword.
You got this. You know what I mean?
Garad, do you want this thing?
Yeah.
All right, we'll take it.
So
It's +1 to attack and damage. Is that right?
Wait, what does this say on the side? It's got a description.
But it's called talent.
It's called Talon.
Talon.
It's awesome.
and hold on,
Eagle Talon.
let me-
Think of a flappier bird.
It's a silver sword and it's called Talon. It's like a hawk. You should be the silver hawk.
Garrett the Silver Hawk.
and it is silver, and that is worth noting as well.
Ah.
Okay.
Let's go kill some
Weight
werewolves.
associated with it, I'm sure.
All right. So let's get back to the marching order.
Yeah,
So
I'm in the
Zig
back.
is last.
I'll be up front with Garad. I
Okay.
assume he's up front.
So Garad, then Roland. And don't mind me, I'm just kind of like
Guess I'll run
using
in
this for
third
notes.
place because I'm half.
I'll roll near the back with Zig. Recto will.
Unless you want me
Okay.
to go first, Nick, Roland, because I have higher perception, I believe.
Oh, true. I should put Roland on point.
Whoever's first in line, invisible handsy will go next to them.
What is your perception, Nick?
Not good.
Yeah, I'll go first.
Yeah.
I'll be the one to fall into the fucking pit.
My perception is -1.
Why don't we send Handy
Oh.
to fall into pits?
Yeah, put Handsy first.
No. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. We don't care if Handsy dies. No offense.
No, well, I can bring him. I can bring him right back.
Yeah, so.
He's just going to be more surly.
Well, and actually, Hillers, make sure that you deduct the cost of Find Familiar, because it does have a material component cost.
Take that out of your own kitty.
What is it?
It's 100 gold.
Better not be. No, I cast it as a ritual. Doesn't that take the components
No.
out? No. All right, I'll find out what it is and deduct it.
100 gold.
Oh, you need a. If it's Find Familiar, don't you need a brazier as well?
Yes, he does.
It's not 100 gold, it's 10 gold.
I thought it was
I think the brazier
Sorry.
costs 100 gold.
Okay. So
Well, we have one at the inn. They had one at the Sleeping Giant.
Yeah.
that's fine. So sometime while you were in town, you found you did lose 10 gold, to be clear.
Noted.
But yeah, you did you found a whatever else you needed while you were in town.
Yeah. That's fine.
And I'll go next to Granny there.
Were you able
Sorry.
to find fire? I know that's kind of tough for us to find.
Zigmundo starts a fire for us.
All right. So is this the general order from top to bottom?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. And let's say that you guys are like just down here or something. All right. So you're about, I think you guys said that you're about 50 feet away right now.
Does it look like anyone's home?
Roll a perception check.
I will. Sorry, wrong one.
So what you can see is the ground in front of you has been recently, so it looks like people have been coming and going.
Mhm.
But when you look at the castle itself, we don't see any guards. You don't see anything of that sort. You don't see any like flags waving about. Nothing like that. But you can tell that there have been people or creatures nearby recently.
It's almost
Roland,
more like squatters than occupants.
Roland, can your animal senses tell us anything about who's coming in?
No, not unless I'm an animal. I don't want to switch yet because
Well,
I don't know if I'm going to make it through any doorways. So
okay, yeah.
Doorways are like the bane of your class.
they are.
Yes. Hallways, my natural enemy.
And everything that's a medium beast or smaller all have like 4 HP. So
Yeah.
no
Yeah.
real use to it.
My weakness, doors. No opposable thumbs. Okay. Well then, I'll send Handsy. We can just assume that he's invisible, right? It doesn't take an extra turn.
Yeah, you're not in combat, so there's no such thing as actions right now.
So I'd like
So,
to send him
invisible.
into the foyer.
Okay. Can you ping on the map where you want him to go? Okay. So, Handsy flies in because he flies, right?
He can do whatever he wants, basically. I mean, he is also the form of a raven. Yes, so he's 60 foot, flying, invisible.
Okay. So he flies in. You're kind of looking through his eyes, so you've got a cool warging special effect going on right now.
Fucking A.
It looks like a pretty shitty hallway. It's like once upon a time, this maybe was a nice castle, but that does not seem like it was very recent. He can look below him and see that there's a little bit more of the castle itself below that's revealed to him that goes out into
Ruins, basically.
the forest, right?
Reach.
All right. Looks
So it's in reach. Yeah.
looks fairly busted. Everyone, I would suggest we move in and decide how to proceed.
Let's proceed with that.
I'd like to move into that for you and just kind of take a quick look to see if there's any of these. Assuming those are doorways, these are doorways, I assume. But I want to see if there's anything looks like it's more used than anything else, or more recently used footprints, anything like that. Imagine there's dust on the ground. There's probably footprints in that dust.
Okay. So this will be the last time I do this. So please listen carefully. Unless you say otherwise, I'm going to assume that you don't do any sort of stealth and that you just walk in.
Yeah, no. I mean,
Okay.
I can't anyways. I was planning on walking in.
Well, anybody can actually.
Anybody can try to stealth. You just roll stealth.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah,
Yep.
and basically
You don't
whatever
have-
you roll
You don't have
is
to be
what
good
your
at it.
whatever you roll is what your stealth level is for that account for while
Okay.
you're stealth.
I was unaware of that, and that is what it's a dexterity mod. Okay,
Thanks, Troy.
that's good to know. Thank you for that heads up.
So that is the final kind of DM hint of that nature.
Last warning. Thank you.
Okay, all right. I guess then I will. Would stealth basically be a I'm quietly trying to walk up there roll essentially?
Exactly. So stealth says like I'm going to try and not be noticed by anybody that might otherwise notice me, and here's how good of a job I did at that.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
And then it's a contested roll. So what you roll? Let's say you roll a 10. Plus, let's say what your roll is plus your mod is a 10. Then that means that any monster or creature or bad guy that wants that is otherwise going to try and find you has to roll above a 10 to see you. If you
Okay.
roll an 18, they have to roll above the 18 to see you.
Okay, cool.
Unless
Then
you do something like specifically dumb and like shout while stealthing.
Hey guys.
Steve,
Okay.
Steve
well,
reminds you
let me
that if
try
you
to,
can be near Hansy, you should be near Hansy.
let me I'll roll for stealth. I'm gonna move up here and then I'm gonna try to just look around and look for footprints or anything like that. Then.
Boom.
It's a nice one.
Solid.
All right, so Roland kind of sticks to the shadows, sticks close by the wall, does like a little secret agent kind of do.
Unnecessary rolls, just to, nothing that's acrobatic, but just like somersaults.
Like Paul Blart Mall Cop.
So as you get into kind of this hallway past the door, you see some closed doors to the north and the south. There's a large crumbling mound of rubble. To your south, it's partially obscuring a hall down there. You can see that it opens up into a room, but you can't really see what's there. There is a large. There's a corridor with rubble and kind of fallen plaster that is kind of crumbled off of the sides of the walls. Even coming down from the ceiling. So in the ceiling above you, you can actually see some daylight poking in.
I wanted to take a check to see if there's footprints or anything that I could see where people might have gone in and out of recently out of any of these doorways.
Roll a perception. So that's a general perception. If you want to investigate like a specific door, that would be an investigate check, not a perception check. But when you ask like for a general question, I'm going to ask you to roll perception, right? So with you look around and you can see that the rubble has been cleared enough in the middle of the hallways that you can tell people have been using it, but you can't really tell which direction people are coming or going from.
All right. So there we are. That's I'm good looking around.
Okay.
So the big half orc is going to try to stealthily walk in as well.
All right.
I kind of follow Roland a little bit just so he has some extra.
So, quick question: is everybody going to try and stealth in?
Yeah,
For
Granny will.
the minute, yep.
Being
All right, then-
at the end, no.
Then let's do a party roll. So everybody,
Okay.
just go ahead and roll it now.
Party roll!
Oh,
Some of us are bad at it.
Everyone's bad when they roll a 1, to be fair.
although our stealth's across the board, everybody has a bonus to it.
If you've got Dex, you do.
Yeah.
Everybody's got a plus dex.
Okay, and here's the.
Oh, Recto.
So here's the way that I'm going to do group rolls. So, because this is the first time we've really done this. So, basically, I come up with a DC, so a challenge rating, right? And then what I do is I have the whole group roll it, and basically I say, did the majority pass that DC or not?
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Rector, you ruined it for us.
So this is
Okay.
the average.
So, did everybody? So everybody's rolled, and everybody's plan is to kind of come up onto the porch.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So let's say that you're kind of walking up in that order. All right.
We're walking in step too.
Good. All right. Let's
Left.
go ahead
Oh.
and
Here we go.
roll initiative.
Oh boy.
Boy, I am on an
Fuck,
island out
eh.
here.
Oh,
Don't worry.
yeah.
My boy's gonna help you.
No.
Oh man.
Oh,
So why didn't I
It's
turn
good.
over the order? I have my token selected.
Jesus, look at these fucking rolls.
I didn't have my token selected. I'm sorry.
I
Forgot
can't.
about that.
I can't get to my token. Because I have the ruler. Never mind. I'm an idiot.
happens to the best of us.
About the same.
These rolls are baller, though. Can I be? Should I click my token and roll again?
Yes.
Or
For initial, I forgot to click my token. So should I click it and roll again?
go ahead and do it, and then I'll change you to your 19.
Okay. Thank you.
Same, likewise for this 20 business here. Okay.
Yes.
Oh, Jesus.
I reserve the right to not update you to a good score later.
That's fine.
Yeah, but I had my token selected. That's what I don't understand. Is like, why does it sometimes it take and not others?
I don't know.
Maybe it's the way you wrote the macro.
I didn't write the macro. I'm clicking on initiative after selecting my token.
Built into the sheet.
Click better.
Yeah, I guess.
I don't know.
Stupid Mac product doesn't know how to click.
I know, right?
Clicky, click, click.
All right. So, wait a minute. There's going to be a little bit of a surprise round.
This thing is gonna get wrecked. I mean,
Like your mother, Trebek.
It only costs like $50 to get it back again.
All right. So let's see. Okay. Yep. I think Garrett.
It is 100 gold pieces of incense you need in order to summon him. That seems like a lot.
Summon a what?
Find familiar.
Get his familiar back.
It is 100. I thought it was when I looked it up. it was
100 gold to find familiar.
It says a brass brazier with charcoal and 100 gold pieces of incense, fat, and herbs such as basil, savory, and catnip.
I don't see that here on roll 20. It's 10 gold pieces worth of charcoal, incense, and herbs. Must
I think it's in the player's handbook. Is that what it is?
What page are they referencing?
Here, let me look it up on D&D Beyond.
Roll20 usually references a page associated with rules, so that's what I'm asking.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, if you're looking at it on the...
Yeah.
Whatever.
10
We can
GP.
figure it out come the time. We don't need to worry
It
about it
is
right
10 GP in the player's
Not
handbook.
100. That's ridiculous.
now. Hey, that's what it says on Wikia, okay?
But Wikia can fuck itself.
Well, I mean, I saw 100 gold somewhere too. So I mean, I know that I didn't
Probably
make
Wikia.
That source can also fuck itself.
Yeah. All right. So. Actually, let me-
Pansy is a bargain.
Just a typo.
All right. So Garad, as you're walking up the steps, a arrow flies right by your face, right in front of you, and hits the ground off to your left. And right as you kind of turn to maybe react to that, another arrow flies by recto and lands in the ground right between legs and stick.
Okay.
So, you're now in combat.
Okay. Can we see where the arrows came from?
Roll well, it's not your turn. So why don't we start with Zygmundo?
As a group, can we make a party's persuasion or perception to see if we can see where the arrows are coming from?
I feel like we would all be interested in that information. Yeah.
Gotta make a perception check.
That is not something that you can immediately see, although there are arrow slits in the towers.
Okay.
Fair point.
To set everything on fire or not set everything on fire.
We just need to get inside.
Yeah, I should get inside. But so hey, right here on the map, is that an arrow slit?
That is, yep. And there's another one.
On the
Let me
south
make
side.
these a little bit more clear to you.
That one.
Yep.
Okay. If I And so my guess is this arrow slit would not be able to shoot at this party member due to its angle.
Okay.
So what I'm guessing is that there's somebody back here. So I think what I would like to do is cast a fireball in that direction.
Just right in through the arrow slit?
Yes, sir.
Are you guessing a fireball or? Oh, I guess it's a. Yeah, because fireball's like a level 4 spell, right?
Just like a spark size.
Firebolt.
Yeah, fireball's level. It's a level 3 spell.
Are you doing fireball?
Okay, no, not gonna get into this. I have to be a level 4 character to cast level 3 spells.
Yep.
Basically, it's like an array. It starts at 0.
Okay, so I'm gonna say just actually, yeah. Go ahead.
You okay? Yes, I would like to cast a cantrip of firebolt
Okay.
right here.
Yes.
Okay.
That's
Go for it.
That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go click on it now. Is that all right?
Yep.
Great. Bam.
Nice.
Whoa, good one.
Damn. Hold on a second.
Showing up.
Take that, sneaky hatches.
Wow. So by the way, I applied 3/4 cover to this, which is like a +5 AC to whatever is behind that.
Damn.
So I was like, yeah, this is not gonna happen. But somehow, Segundo kind of steps back,
Blind squirrel finds a nut.
Spark!
spins his fingers, and a little spark turns into a slightly bigger spark, and he throws that thing right through, and it kind of arcs through the air, and it just like hole in one, kind of goes right through the probably 2 inches, 3 inches maybe that's in that arrow slit.
It's crazy.
And from the other side, you just hear this screaming, and then you hear some additional commotion back there as well.
I'm gonna stay down over here, and thus ends with my turn.
All right, Garad.
All right. So I'm going to switch from my maul.
Okay, yeah. That's what I was going to ask this.
Yeah, so I'm switching from my maul to my sword, to the sword and shield.
The Talon.
To Talon and yes. So my armor class is now 19.
Yep.
And I want to kind of hold the shield up and kind of like provide like I'm holding it up high.
Okay.
Like I'm holding it up high so like people can walk behind us too as I start walking towards the other arrow slit.
Yep. So you're holding it high, facing east.
Facing east, right? Like I'm keeping it pointed at the arrow slot, so that way it's like providing cover for everyone else behind me. And I'm kind of gonna stand actually like right here-ish, like actually in between all 4 of them, so that way everyone can pass behind me. And I want to provide try to provide like cover for everyone to like be able to run through.
Okay, so with and so is the shield basically like covering the slit?
Can I reach this? Can I do that? Can I reach the slit with my shield?
You can. It's basically on the same plane as you.
Then yeah, yes, I'll do that. I'll just like push my shield against the slit.
Okay, and so with that, you're also, just to be clear, you're not going to be able to see into the slit. So, but all right, you did that. Is that it for your turn, or?
Yeah, I think so. And then I'm kind of make like a moving motion with my other sword, with the sword hand, so that everyone can like run past this.
Yep.
That's
Okay,
a cool,
and yeah,
Nice,
that's
nice,
cool.
nice.
And this will be the last reminder I make of this. Remember that if you don't use your action, you can always set up a trigger, right? You can set up a reaction.
I mean, I'll have my sword ready for a reaction if anyone comes towards melee range with me. But my primary focus right now is to block off this shield so that.
We'll set that up. So if somebody runs right up to you, you'll automatically.
Okay, yeah. So then, yes. So I will use my action as a ready action with being able to fight people if I need to.
So Garad says, like I think the normal way to say is I use my ready action so that if any enemy comes within melee range of me, I'll strike them with my sword.
Yes.
Cool. All right.
Thank you.
Yep. That is it for Garad. Steve. And so Steve, what I'm going to generally say is on your turns, why don't we have Hansy go first, and then you go second.
All right, Hansy.
And then, and just to be clear, I'm pretty sure that if you wanted to have Hansy attack something, that would
it takes my turn.
It takes your action.
Right. I don't want him to do that. I do want him to open that door right there.
All right.
That's what Hansy's for.
So Hansy flies down here. He opens that door.
Whoa! One of them's gone already.
Yep.
And he sees the charred corpse of a goblin whose eye socket has just been completely kind of engulfed in flame and is now just like a blackened hole in his skull. And there's another goblin who's basically pissing his pants and is actually headed towards Hansy, trying to clear the F out.
Hansy's invisible. So he's just leaving the room, right? Because Hansy's invisible.
Well, he is on his way out, and Hansy is invisible, but he's not incorporeal.
Got it. So, is opening a door an action?
Generally, no.
Okay. Then I'd also like to open this door before I move again.
Show me which one again?
This one. The one right next to him.
Okay. So Hansy opens that door. As he looks down from there, he is able to. Just a minute.
Got it. Okay.
He sees a goblin to his south.
So, and he's just gonna move twice, and so he'll move here.
Oh, and actually, yeah, okay, yep. All right, so he moves there. Go ahead. Or yeah, I'll move him.
Yeah,
So
we're
as
gonna because of the things that have happened in the past, we're gonna default you moving after we tell you.
Yep, that's great.
Right. Okay. And as for Steve,
Hold on. So as he kind of crests this mound of rubble, he sees a pretty large room. It's a large hall. He's standing on a mound of rubble on one side, but the rest of it's pretty intact. It looks like it used to be a banquet hall. It's got two large tables. There's a really tall 25-foot ceiling that's actually still intact, unlike the room that he just came from. The tables with benches actually have a few goblins seated at it that look like they're still not fully aware of what's going on a little bit further to the west. They're participating in goblin-like meals.
so can you show me that? I see what he sees.
I will in a second. Yep.
Sorry.
No worries. There's a large brass brazier in the northern part of the hall. Lots of dishes, stew pots, moldy heels of bread, gnarled bones. This is clearly where maybe the denizens have been eating. And so let's see what Hansy sees.
Cool.
Just a minute.
Is that a brazier?
This is.
Brazier?
Whoa! Boy, this thing is so useful.
Seriously.
I mean,
That could've been one of
wow.
us.
What is
Yes.
the center of the room there?
The 7 is just for me.
Gotcha.
It's just a reference.
How many are in there?
A bunch.
Plus the
8.
boss baddie.
There's 8 of them in there.
Plus the minor boss, right?
Plus the minor boss. Boy. These guys. Okay.
They've got a fire source in the back of the room.
So
Let's remember we're here to find Gundren.
Let's just wait a minute.
Yes.
But the fire speaks to me so bright.
Yeah. Then we'll set it on fire. Let's get what we came for. All right. So Steve, let's see. 1, 2, 3.
So it's for Hansy's turn?
That's it for Hansies. That's his moves and his actions. Yes. So he just invisibly perches.
Okay.
And I move. Each of these cubes is 5, right?
Yes.
5. And I can do 40 or 30.
You tell me.
It says it in your character.
It's
but
a
you should-
regular amount. It's
30.
30.
10, 20.
Most characters can move 6
30.
squares.
Right. Okay. So I'm gonna move behind Roland.
Okay.
Um,
I can move you.
thank you.
So right there.
No, behind. Right
Here?
there. Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna set as a reaction.
It's probably easier, by the way, to use cardinal directions with me and be like north.
Very
of
well. North
Roland.
of Roland. That good point. I will set as a reaction if I see any goblins. I will blast them.
Okay.
Add those things.
Which? Okay, yeah, that's fine. All right. And Recto.
Okay. I can move more than 30 feet.
You can move a lot more than 30 feet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's the Flash.
Oh, and whilst I was moving, I told everyone there's a bunch of goblins behind the door.
So that's an elevated place where Hansy is. He's up. So those goblins can't.
It's like a hill of rubble.
And they can't see down to that door where they are right now.
To the open door to the west.
Yeah. Where the archers are.
They could probably see to the doorway. They probably wouldn't be able to see the dead body on the floor currently.
Okay. Can I get to here? Can I get to the northwest corner of the hall?
You measure it and you let me know.
All right. Well, so which way do I have to go? I got to go up the steps, I guess.
Yep.
So is that 10, and then that's 35. Yeah, I can get there.
Cool. There you go.
I would angle it and I would get there. I would get
Oh,
there.
can I move my guy or?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, sir. Well, so yep. You want me to move you there?
I thought we were doing that. I didn't know.
Sorry, you were just asking if you could do it, so I didn't realize.
I try to listen to see if I can hear anything through the door.
Roll a perception check.
Hey, character sheet. Where did you go? Oh, it's over
Don't
here.
be a wuss. Just open the door.
Kick it down.
So yes, so you can hear what sounds like 2 goblin voices speaking back and forth to one another. You're not quite sure what they're saying unless you can speak goblin.
Goblish.
But they sound like they're in a tizzy, and they sound like they're headed towards you.
I attempt to open the door quickly and suddenly
All right,
to surprise
I
them.
like that.
Oh God, this is about to be a mess.
Can you roll Roll strength.
Strength. Okay.
Oh, you're just
So
a little guy.
So you were able to open the door, and on the other side you see two goblins. You kind of bump one with the door as you open it. It doesn't really do much.
Ow!
Hey.
And then he grabs it and kind of opens it the rest of the way. And you're
That's nice of him.
next to him.
Okay. I'm going to punch him with my stone fist.
All right, let's do it.
Time to punch.
Oh.
All right, so
Actually, no. Ah, shoot! I said it. Never mind. It's fine.
Did it?
Okay. Yep. All right. So you kind of open the door. It kind of bumps into him. He's a little surprised. The rest of the way, sees you. His eyes got kind of big. And you just punch him right in the mouth, and a few of his teeth kind of crack and fall out. And he's got blood streaming out of the sides of his mouth.
And then I'm gonna.
He looks pretty shocked.
I'm gonna.
Describe the punching.
I'm gonna unarmed strike him. Kick him right in the teeth again.
All right. And so you kind of pull back from your punch. You do a snap front kick right to his jaw, and you can kind of see like the teeth from his bottom jaw go up out his upper lip, as it kind of like crashes in the bottom half of his skull towards the top half, and he collapses down to the ground. It looks like he's pretty dead.
Okay.
It looks like he's pretty dead.
Then 1 second here. That was my bonus action. Yeah. Okay. Then I'm done. I can't move anymore. So.
All right. Granny.
All right. I believe Granny has enough movement to get to here, just to the west of Steve.
Okay.
Cool music. And she's
Nice.
going to cast Bless, targeting the 3 companions closest to her, so Garrett.
Yep.
So she holds up her shield and waves it in her. We got this. So
All right.
while I maintain concentration, a minute you get you could add a D4 to all of your attack rolls and saving throws.
Great.
And that's her turn.
Nice. All right, and I'm gonna trust Garrod, Steve, and Roland to remember that.
Yep. As you should.
I'm sorry.
That's
I
an
cut
attack
out a
roll?
bit.
No worries. When you roll a attack roll or a saving, a D4 roll.
Add a D4. Got it. Thank you.
Yep. All right. Is that your turn, Granny?
Yeah, finished.
All right, Roland.
All right. I am going to, before I start moving, I'm gonna just kind of shake my hand down and cast a flaming blade out of my hand.
Nice.
Whoa!
And then
Who knew you could do that?
I'm gonna walk down through the door, and I'll set myself right up by the door so he can't run past.
Okay.
And I'm gonna take a swing at his head.
All right, so you're coming down here?
Up north one.
All right. And
That's actually a plus, so that'll be a 17. No, that's so I have to roll another.
roll a d4, yep.
I don't know the best way to write it. That's I'm just doing this.
Almost anything should get it.
Well, do we want to
There you
wait till it hits to make sure you do that, or?
You
I don't
just
think you can.
get it.
Yeah.
You just get it no matter what. And
Oh,
you can
okay.
get it
Cool.
And it's not like once per turn, so I think there's no downside.
Nice.
Correct.
All right,
It's a good spell.
So you walk into the room. You step up next to the one goblin who's down with his right eye socket has been burnt out to a crisp, and you stab your flaming sword into the right eye socket of the other goblin. It goes in and
It's
just
just not that day.
creates a crisp, roasting sound as you fry the socket and brain behind it.
That's a lot of damage.
It's a lot of damage. Is that your turn?
I'm just going to take a step out of the room.
Okay.
If I can just move east one space.
Yep.
So if anybody has to run through or anything like that, I'll hopefully be able to get an attack advantage. So that's the end of my turn.
All right.
Goblin!
Here we go.
Uh-oh.
So this goblin here is gonna. Actually, let me just move this one out of the way for myself. He comes up over to Recto and pulls out his scimitar and takes a swing over at Recto and misses. It just rebounds right off of that stupid door. That's what the goblin gets for being left-handed, I guess.
Hey.
Pulling a Mayweather on him.
So this goblin down here
You're wearing a ski mask?
to the south of Roland sees Roland standing at the door that he had noticed open, but previously it had opened and there was nothing behind it. But then he sees Roland kind of disappear for a moment and then come back into view, and the goblin shouts something in his tongue quite loudly. Hansy sees all the goblins in this.
Nice going, Roland.
No, I'm fucking dead.
Oh boy. I'm dead.
Take notice. And this goblin is going to rush towards Roland.
Does that trigger my reaction?
You said when you can see one.
Yeah, I mean, well,
It's up to you.
So, you didn't take an action, huh?
I took a reaction as soon as I see an enemy. I take it.
Okay, I'll give it to you, but he's going to be in half cover.
That's fair enough. All right, let's see. That's in the core. And
How's it going down there, Dimspark?
Regular.
Hey, you got the first kill of the night.
Good.
Yeah.
Doing.
All right, and remember you can roll your d4.
Oh, right. Okay.
All right, so Steve, as kind of the goblin rushes up to Roland with the scimitar held high, you step back and you pull this demonic purple energy into your hand, throw it forth. It arcs right over Roland's back, and it hits the goblin right in the neck.
Oh.
And he just drops to the ground, kind of grasping it with both hands before falling down onto his face.
Thank you.
Spoiler.
I'm gonna pretend that was the blessing.
That's like a movie scene where like a guy gets surprised by another guy, and then the guy behind him actually saves him. It's really cool.
That's so true.
So another goblin rushes forth and is a little bit surprised to see Roland.
A corpse.
Well, corpse and Roland there. He's gonna swing at Roland. Roland, your AC is a 14. So Roland, you're able to raise your staff and just deflect the blow of the goblin's scimitar. Another goblin comes back out, standing on this rubble, and again is shouting to this room something in Goblish, but seems to be clearly, or I think they actually speak Orcish, right? Seems to be clearly asking for assistance. So let's see. This goblin tries to run up the hill, but he kind of bumps into Hansy.
No, fancy.
Which is, I believe, going to drop his stealth.
Uh-oh.
And he's going to take a swing at Hansy.
Does he get
Better him than me.
Let me know.
Does he
Oh,
get
boy.
disadvantage for trying to attack an invisible target?
Well, the target's not invisible, right? I don't think once. Well, how does that work once you've been discovered?
What kind of invisibility is it?
I don't know how to answer that. The invisible kind? The
So
kind that's less visible?
It's invisibility, not stealth.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
So invisibility of the spell, it falls with attack zone.
It's got to be at least in a disadvantage on his attack.
That doesn't mean that it's, I mean, if ultimately it's up to you, Troy.
Yeah,
If you wanna
sure.
say
Well,
it.
let me look and see the rules as written.
What
I would check Wikia.
No, I'm not checking like
No.
It's well proven. Well, it depends. It depends on the effect.
It's that
When you
100
attack a
gold
target
kind of
you can't see, you have disadvantage on the attack.
Sure.
Well, but he bumped into him, so can he see him?
Yeah.
Does that reveal him at that time?
So right. Troy's trying
The
to.
spell
that's what we're
says
trying
you
to
lose
say.
invisibility when making an attack or casting a spell, which Hansi has not done.
So it's the invisibility
Okay.
spell.
Well, I
creature-
mean, it's also up to the DM discretion. Like, oh, I didn't attack, but I'm standing in water right now, or I'm covered in flour. Like,
I'm
No, so
just
that-
reading. I'm just
that-
reading.
Yeah. So that reveals you, but it doesn't break your invisibility. That's
Yeah,
why
yeah.
you can still attack them, just
okay.
at disadvantage.
He's still hard to hit.
Because stealth is
All
different
right.
from invisibility, right?
Yes.
That's right. All right, so the goblin swings wildly, but he's not able to connect with Hansi. But he does kind of gesture in that direction and shouts something else to the other goblins.
It's a numbers game. One of them's going to get him.
And by the way, the disadvantage
No,
was
he's
critical
wrong.
there because by the way, his non if he didn't have disadvantage,
Would've killed
it was a crit.
Oh boy.
Oh, lucky.
And that's why we stay invisible.
Yeah, that's why Hansi does not attack ever.
Alright.
So
He's there to help.
a couple of these goblins kind of form around their boss here, and Roland can see that happening. Another goblin comes up to swing towards where the other goblin had gestured, and he does not hit. They're just swinging wildly in the air.
Sweet.
Let's see.
Hansi's awesome. I love him
He's
so
saving-
much
he's saving
already.
my ass by taking
He's
those
pretty amazing.
swings.
So this goblin comes flying by and is going to swing his sword over here at Roland.
My reaction's only good for one goblin, right?
It's usually once
yeah,
reactions
yeah.
are once per round, I think.
Well,
Yeah,
it's
you
only
have
one.
you have a reaction per round. It's just like the other components
Got
of
it.
your turn. Like you've got a move, an action, a reaction, and
Right.
so even if you have multiple things in a turn that could spin that reaction, you only have one of them to spend.
Got it.
Like a
XCOM Overwatch. Got it.
Yep.
Exactly.
All right, so Roland, this other goblin comes storming by, swings its scimitar at you, and gets you right in the side, right above the hip. He digs it in pretty far and hits you for 10 damage.
Ooh.
Oof. Bear out.
Is it Bear Clock?
Bear o'clock.
Okay, and that will do it for the goblins for now.
For now.
Zigmundo.
Yay.
It's going to take
So-
7 turns to get into the room.
I can only move 30 feet here, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right there.
You can use your action as a dash if you want to take another movement turn.
Yeah, let me see if I want to dash. It would probably be beneficial if I went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is to the east of this is a wall, correct?
Correct.
Okay. I'm gonna move to that square.
Okay. That square?
Okay. And then
Is it that one or is it the one below that?
that is correct. That's the square.
Okay, great.
And then I am going to enact one of the spells or the actions on my Staff of Defense, which will be, in my case, I will be doing shield, please.
Okay, and so let's see. Can we do that without? Because you don't have an action left over right now.
Is that a
dash
bonus?
is my action.
Let me look and see.
I thought. Okay, never mind. If,
Yeah,
if
we'll
dash
dash
is my
after this.
action, which
I think so.
you're right.
Yeah, that's going to use your action, which you don't have now.
All right, then I am finito.
All right.
So now that everyone's
We've got a
Sorry.
question here from Peanut Gallery. How does Steve have 25 HP?
I'm level 3.
That's more than me.
I had let's see.
Granny's got 25.
yeah, I have
I had
29.
I had a 1d8 which I got automatically at my first.
So
Um,
yeah, full.
And then another one that was 6, I think, and then another one plus the Constitution modifier, and then another base 5 plus the Constitution modifier.
Yeah, and your Constitution modifier is
2.
2.
There you go. That makes sense.
So you got 6 points of just Constitution modifier.
So you had a 10, and then you had a base 5, which gives you 7, 17, and then you rolled a 6
plus
which
2.
gave you 8. Okay. Damn.
Because I'm awesome is the
I
answer
feel
to
like
your
I
question.
feel like I might have missed a roll at some point throughout the creation of my character. Then
For what it's worth,
That's
that's
17
fine.
as a full hit point stack.
Put your studies in, fellas. It's worthwhile.
the max for Steve would have been 30 right now.
Yeah. Good.
All right. So it is Garad's turn.
Okay. Now that everyone's passed, I'm going to 5. I'm going to go into the fray down south with Roland.
Okay.
Thank you.
I don't think I can actually get
here
there
or
though.
here.
Can I get there? I can't.
You're. Let's.
I know. I'm sorry. I just didn't count. I can do that.
Yeah, you can
Oh.
get there.
Sweet. Then yeah, I'm definitely charging in there.
To the east of Roland, or
To the east of Roland.
all right.
And I'm going to attack with my.
Attack what?
I'm going to attack the goblin to my south first.
Okay. Yep.
Because I already have the macro right here, and it's fine. I'm going to attack with my maul,
All right.
and I'm going to reduce my armor class here because I'm switching that out. I'm going to maul him.
All right. So you kind of as you're running, you tuck your shield up over your back, you sheath Talon and pull the big ass maul out, and then at a full stride you come down and you crush right into the shoulder of the goblin, and it kind of just crunches down and kind of his shoulder's down near his navel now as he collapses
Actually,
to the ground.
Okay, that's fine. I'm not going to use any of my superiority die here. And because Roland's right there, and I'll take my action surge and attack this one here.
Okay. All right, and so you
add a D4.
pull. Yeah, that's a good point.
That's for damage, not attack, though, right?
No, it's
No,
okay.
it's for attack.
Oh, sweet. That's why I didn't roll that then.
You didn't need it last time.
You didn't do it last time. You were good. Yeah, attack rolls and saving throws.
Nice.
Nice.
Turn to miss into a hit.
That spell is
Nice, man.
super useful.
So you kind of pick the ball out of the remains of the goblin down by you, and then you turn around and you swing it like a baseball bat, and you knock the head clear off of the goblin south of Roland.
Gendry who? Alright. That's my turn.
All right. Steve.
First of all, Hansy.
Yeah.
Hansy will disengage.
Mm-hmm.
Does he have to if he's invisible?
He probably
Or
does
can
not
he just?
have to.
Okay.
He probably doesn't have to.
He will, on my commands, head to me.
Mm-hmm.
Pick
To
up
the
a
north
healing.
of you, south of you?
Just to the south of me.
Yep.
Pick up the healing potion that I hand him,
Okay.
and go feed it to Roland.
Nice.
Okay, so he hands it over to Roland.
That's cool.
Roland. So
And
Roland,
I would even say opens it up and dips it into his mouth.
no. But
No.
but he can. I'll give you that he can like tuck it into Roland's pack, and
Alright.
Steve, you can telepathically tell him.
Yeah, because that
Very
has to
well.
be an action, taking a healing potion.
Fair enough. Okay. Now for Steve.
Yep.
Steve moves 2 spots to his east.
Okay. Here.
Okay. Yep. Kicks that door down. Like you said, wasn't an action.
Yeah, but I want to hold on for a second. Apologies. Let me look something up.
Uh-oh.
Oh, door.
That might not be good.
This maybe not great.
You might want that healing potion back.
Somebody come fix me.
Handsy.
Steve, roll a dexterity check.
Oh, God.
Dexterity
I'm
saving throw.
I'm actually
Dexterity saving throw.
fairly dexterous.
You get a +4 on the saving throws.
The D4?
Yeah, D4, yeah, plus D4.
Yep, so you can roll a D4 to add to that too if you want. Both you want.
Absolutely.
You have to. There's no choice.
Sweet.
It's now
All right.
acid.
Now let me do something.
Yeah,
All right, so as you rush over to that door, you feel your leg tug as your foot pushes past a trip line that's been set up across the hallway.
Damn.
As soon as that line breaks, all of a sudden you hear this rumble as the ceiling above you collapses.
Oh, damn.
You're able to mostly roll out of the way. You roll over to back to here. You'll take 4 damage, and that area is pretty treacherous now.
Treacherous in what way?
Rough terrain.
It's full of rubble. Yeah.
Okay. Take 4 damage. Alright, no problem.
Wasn't 8.
Yeah, that could have been much worse.
Yeah. Yeah, the ceiling fell on me. This.
Yeah, your 17 dexterity save was pretty clutch.
Granny making it possible yet again.
All right, Steve. Is there anything else you want to do? Do you have move left? I don't know if you have movement left.
I tried to make 1 move. So yeah, I'd have 1 more move.
Well, you only moved 10 feet, so you still got 20 feet.
Yeah.
Actually,
I'm
you
gonna
moved
say-
15 feet.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yep.
Okay,
Let's say you have like 10 feet left.
I'm tempted to open the door to the north, but I feel like we got enough problems, so I'm gonna just do what I did before and trigger. Can I see any goblins from where I am right now?
You can sort of see the goblin to the west of Recto.
Okay, well then I will take my bonus action to cast Hex on that one.
All right.
What does
He
Hex
is
do?
next.
I will link it so that everybody can see what I'm up.
You can't just like say it.
Well, it's a
Oh
it's a
my God.
number of things, and I pick strength as the disadvantage,
It gives him bonus damage when he follows up.
and it gives him disadvantage on one thing of my choice, which I say is strength.
Time to wrestle.
Because Garrod loves to tackle things.
He does look at
All right, Steve, that's the end of your turn. So let's go to Recto.
Wait, that was my bonus action. My action is that I take a reaction to do what I did before, which is Eldritch Blast them. If I see one.
Okay. If you
You
see
see
an
a
enemy,
different
you'll
goblin?
Eldritch Blast them.
Yeah.
So any goblin that you see, you'll the
Any
first goblin
goblin
you
I
see.
see. I
First
will.
goblin you see. Yep.
Correct.
Okay.
Can't you currently see a goblin?
Yeah.
Oh, well then I will Hex Eldritch Blast that goblin. Yeah.
All right.
Well, yeah,
That's good point, Granny. Eldritch Blast Hex.
So he will be at some cover, but you'll clear that cover, and the blast. Oh, and that's because that second 5 is from the hex.
Correct.
All right, so the arcane energy that you throw forth kind of goes past and clips a piece of the door by Recto, and some of the stone comes right out of the side of the doorway, but it still manages to keep on trucking and go right into the side of the head of the goblin, and it kind of just burrows into his head, and he collapses to the ground dead.
Awesome. And just so you know, the next goblin I see will be the one I transfer the hex to.
Well, that'll be on your next turn.
You need another bonus action. To do.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
you don't have a reaction or anything now, and you don't.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
Yes, spent.
All right, Recto.
I did enough. I collapsed
Yeah,
the ceiling
that
and
was-
killed a dude.
That was good. Okay. Well,
Is he dead now? Is he X'd out?
yeah.
Yes.
Was this the guy that you just shot?
I thought so.
No, he shot the guy up by me. Up by Recto. And killed him.
Oh, I was looking the wrong
So
direction.
Funny.
our flank is covered.
Gotcha.
That we know of for now.
For now, yeah.
That was a good call, actually. Yeah, because now you're free to come and engage him.
So I'm gonna move. Can I just move my guy, or is that fine?
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna move down.
You
next
can
to-
move about 1,000,000 feet a turn,
It's not lit. Oh,
give or take.
There.
yeah. Is there a reason I couldn't move?
It's probably just because of some of the dynamic lighting stuff.
Okay, yeah. So I want to move, just to the west of the goblin that's alive there,
Okay.
right in view of every other goblin that there is in the map. Apparently, that might not have been the best move.
You got backup.
But I'm going to radiant sunbolt him, the one in front of me.
We are lighting this place up, dude.
But not literally.
You got the
Please,
1d4
not
too, or
literally.
no?
No, I did not get it.
Sorry.
All right. So you step forward as you run forth towards the goblin. You kind of light up your stone fist, throw it forward. The energy cracks out of the stone, heads towards the goblin, but the goblin's able to step out of the way as the energy ricochets off of the wall here and dissipates as it continues on outward to the south.
All right, I'm gonna spend a key point and do it 2 more times.
All right.
Oh,
Awesome.
Oh. Yay!
there you go.
I still rolled freaking 1 twice on damage though. Or
You did.
God sakes, man!
You did. That was
I rolled a
terrible.
1
That was
3
terrible
times in a
attack.
row on damage.
So right as soon as that other bolt hits the wall behind the goblin, you throw your fist back at him. Another stream of energy arcs towards him. He steps out of the way of that one again. He starts cackling and kind of tightening up his grip on the sword and pulls it back. And you send one last one, and it goes. And as he's cackling, the energy goes right into his mouth, and you can kind of see like you see kind of this glowingness like go down his windpipe and through his chest to his belly, and then you hear kind of a poof, and he just collapses to the ground.
Funny.
Oh wow, that killed him. All right.
Well done on the death description there, GM.
That was good.
Who's laughing now?
There we go. All right.
And now they all shoot me.
Granny.
Well,
Wait, hold on. Sorry. I need to add the goblins back in.
Oh, did you kill the one that had the initiative?
It was a
They were
five.
5.
5.
Yeah. So
Cool. So
I
yeah.
go there. Yep. All right. So Granny.
Oh, did the goblins get to go?
No, it's not their turn yet.
Okay, cool. Cool. Granny's gonna.
We are laying these guys out.
Guess she'll charge into. Oh, hang on. It's Roland. Looks like he's almost down to half. So she'll hop in here. And
He does have that healing potion.
There is a wall between you and the goblin to your right. Just to let you know.
that's good. That's good to know. He's gonna reach out and touch Roland, sort of just give him a bit of a rub on the back, and heal. How many points are you down?
I'm down 10.
I will heal you for 10 hit points. And that will be my turn.
All right.
Gonna want that potion back.
Yep. I'm gonna sell it.
Rolling.
Alright. I think it's time to do some fun stuff here.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm going to... If I roll up into here, do I still get disadvantage or attack of opportunity? Because I'm still within melee range of him? This goblin?
You're not currently in melee range of him, but where do you go?
If I want to move... yeah, I can't move my guy. If I want to
Do
move
his ping
right here.
Then no, you won't trigger opportunity because I'm gonna say you
Alright.
come down here and then go like this.
Nice.
Alright, I'm going to go over there.
Okay.
And I am going to become a... let me check which one has the highest hit points here. A dire wolf.
All right. Let's do it. So I'm just gonna move you down to here.
Yep.
And
Cool.
Dinner time.
Andy.
Nom nom, bitches.
Andy.
Yeah.
Remember that combo we were talking about doing a while ago?
Yeah, there's too many people here.
No, that would have been a great time to do it based on the proximity.
I'm going to start biting.
You still get your D4, by the way.
nice. All right. So
I'm gonna hit this one back here first.
the one to your left. Okay.
Yeah.
You gonna roll your d4?
There it is.
All right. So you lunge at it and snap your jaws at it, but it kind of takes its scimitar and with the flat side of it kind of bops you on the nose. And you go, "Rrr, rrr," and
Well, that would be the end of my turn then. Sort of anticlimactic.
A
Also.
little anticlimactic.
You're still a wolf.
That's Roland's curse, man. He busts in and becomes a giant animal. Always is like womp womp.
all right. So this goblin up here continues swinging wildly to its south.
It's still looking for Hansy.
It still does not hit Hansy.
It misses.
This goblin, though, its attentions have certainly been diverted. So it sees this dire wolf to its side. It is going to swing at it with its scimitar. But the wolf is able to kind of dodge out of the way, and the scimitar just crashes against the ground, kind of reverberates as he pulls it back.
I'd like to growl back at him too.
All right.
Nice.
This goblin down here comes down, flanks the wolf. Is going to swing its scimitar as well. But once again, the wolf's able to nimbly dodge out of the way. We'll say that this guy comes down here and shakes this goblin and points at Recto to the south before continuing onward, and he's going to take a swing at Recto.
And this is how Recto dies.
And the scimitar comes crashing straight down at Recto's head. But at the last minute, Recto pulls up his stone fist, and the scimitar hits it and goes ding!
Nice.
And he just pushes it away.
By the way, if anyone saw my life go back up, it's because I killed a goblin after I took damage and brought me back up temporary hit points to full life.
Okay. Let's see. God, it's hard. There's so many of them. It's hard to remember who's attacked and who hasn't. Let's see. That one has. That one has. All right. So this one here is going to attack the direwolf. And it hits it for 4 damage as it kind of sticks it into the tough tissue behind his neck. Let's see. This one here, he moves along, kind of keeping his eye on the direwolf, and says, kind of shouts at the other goblins, and then you hear him say, "We have to tell Zupo." And he comes all the way over here. He opens the door, stumbles out here, kind of crawls up over some of the rubble.
So do I see him?
You do see him. Yes.
Okay.
You still have your action? Because I thought you took your action.
No, I killed the guy with it. I'm just wondering.
Yes. No, yeah, you do see him. You guys are standing right next to each other.
Shit.
So he is definitely going to swing at you, but let's see this real quick. So hold on. Okay. Yep, he's going to swing his scimitar at Steve. And Steve, you're able to just jump out of the way as he kind of connects with the corner to your south.
And these guys' rolls have not been good.
No, they have not been. This goblin here kind of jumps up on this bench, runs forward, and takes a stab towards the direwolf. And he misses. He's kind of too enamored with his fancy footwork on the bench and just swings a little too high. So that is it for the goblin's turn.
All right.
They did not accomplish much.
As goblins do.
Zigmundo.
They're here to die.
Ooh. My goodness. All right.
Yeah, when you guys aggroed like 3-4 rooms of them, I was like, uh-oh. But, yeah, we'll
So far,
see.
so good.
Thank God for the bad rolls.
Well,
Oh,
all right,
and
so
and
give
for
me
the
a second
granny
because
spell.
I had an action. Actually, I'm gonna do this. This is totally what I'm gonna do.
Do it.
All right, I'm gonna take a couple steps back over to this bit right on the door.
All right.
All right, and then I'm gonna. I can't let this guy get and tell anybody where we're at, so I'm gonna put him to sleep.
Nice.
All right.
So let me hit sleep from here, and I do believe. Oh, that's what happened. When you move my character, it deselects him. Okay.
Ah.
So that's why I was the initiative didn't take before.
Got it.
All right, and I'm casting at a level 1. Oh, super effective.
Wow. 25 hit points.
No,
Nice.
sleep.
Coma.
Yeah.
Jesus.
All right.
Facts.
So.
Does anybody need a refresh on what sleep does? Do I need to copy paste that for you guys?
It puts him to sleep.
Yeah.
Rip Van Winkle.
Okay.
All right. He collapses to the ground and starts gently snoring.
So peaceful. That's my turn.
Okay.
All right.
Solid.
Gerard.
So I'm gonna take a step forward and go 1 step east.
Yeah,
And
man, get your
attack.
nuts in here.
Yeah, I'm gonna attack the goblin to the east
All right.
with my maul. I'm gonna bash him in.
You get a +4 on that too, or plus
Not
24.
necessary. Not necessary because he brings it down, caves in about half of the goblin skull.
All right, and that ends my turn.
Hansy?
How's that for efficient?
Quite.
Us melee characters have it a little easier.
Hansy would like to move in front of the door to the northeast of where the goblin is. And just park it, and as a reaction, he's going to try to... he will attack if someone tries to open that door.
He's not going to attack if...
okay, well, he'll, I don't know, kick up a fuss. Get in their way.
If you save your action for him, then I'll let him have that
I get
reaction.
it, but no, not attack, just get in their way. Stop them from doing that.
Okay.
Swat their hands.
You can try it.
It could be perfectly ineffective.
Yeah, it might not work at all. I don't know. This noodle
He will be there if the door opens.
Right, he'll be in someone's way. Maybe they trip over him. I don't know. It's something. You know what I mean? So can I gently step over this this guy without awakening him?
Yes.
Okay. Then I would like to move just south of him. And I have a
Alright.
question.
Yeah.
Can my hex that I cast transfer,
Yes.
or would I need a new? Well, I mean, we're still
no.
in combat. Okay.
You're still in combat, so it takes your bonus action.
Right.
Right?
Yep. And so I will transfer it to the one below me,
Okay.
to my south, and then Eldritch Blast it.
All right.
As a
Go
do.
for it. Go for it. What you got? Remember your D4.
Plus the 1d4, which is just awesome.
Surprising how often it helps, at least at low levels.
Ouch. Sorry.
Just press the little icon over by the ruler, just below the ruler.
Oh,
All right. So
Yeah.
so the goblin's standing a little bit above you, standing on some of that rubble, and you kind of gingerly step over their larger boss guy. You walk into the room, pull the energy into your hand, and thrust it forward, and it blows a gigantic hole in the back of the goblin in front of you, and you can see Garad on the other side, and you're just like, "Hey, Garad."
Hey, buddy.
So he drops to the ground dead.
Thus ends my turn.
All right. Recto.
Hey, teacher. Doesn't he have disadvantage for casting a spell in melee range?
Oh, he does. He does. So
Damn it,
that's
Garad.
what-
Why?
that-
Why?
back
So
up.
that is what you dreamed happened. As you were stepping over the sleeping one, but in reality,
Doesn't that
What you
depend on the
actually
spell?
no, any ranged spell, anything that
It's
requires a ranged attack.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Damn.
you kind of step up, and then as you get to the rubble, you kind of slip on a piece of rubble, and you blast the hell out of the floor, and it leaves a nice little dent. And you're like, oh, that would have been so impressive if that had actually hit him.
You're not
And then it
getting
would've blown
you're
a
not
hole
getting
through
any MVP votes, Garad.
And then you said, "Hey, Garad."
Hillers.
It was a
Fucking,
Use your
fucking tattletale.
Oh, wait.
Hey, Garad.
That's true. You do have a.
Steve, use your MVP point.
Man.
Yeah, I'm gonna
So
use
so
it.
so just to be clear,
The
even
inspiration.
so if you had used it there, you would have had advantage and disadvantage. They would have canceled out, and you would have hit.
So don't I?
So it goes right back to where you started.
Yep.
Right. Okay, thing's dead. Move along.
All right. So as you were stepping over the sleeping guy, you're like had these two visions of anxiety.
Sliding
Alright.
doors, everyone.
Is this going to be super cool, or am I going to make a fool of myself in front of my new
Stop
friends?
eating mushrooms you find in the street.
And so as the hole appears in the goblin's thorax, you're like, yeah. Hey, girl. All right.
MVP eligibility restored, girl.
Recto.
All right, I'm gonna punch the one in front of me. This is what I do.
It's what he does. It's all he does.
And you got the D4 as well, or no?
No, I did not.
No.
No.
So you bring your stone fist around, you swing it towards his head, and he uses the scimitar to just parry your fist away from him.
Okay.
That D4 is worth having. I promise you.
Then, as my bonus action, I'm gonna unarmed strike him.
All right. So he parries away, and then you just do another front kick, and you kick him right in the balls. And he kind of drops his sword and grabs himself as he goes down to his knees. Not dead, but that might take a bit for him to recover.
All right. Right in the mommy daddy button.
And I'll say he's prone. All right, Granny.
Okay.
Wait, can I? If I since he's
yeah.
prone, can I move away from him?
Yeah.
Okay.
So even being prone, he would still normally get an attack of opportunity.
Actually, no. I don't want to. I don't want to move anyway. Don't worry about it. I'm good.
Would it be a disadvantage? No, it doesn't matter.
These
Yeah.
guys are gonna be dead pretty soon.
Yeah, I'm not worried about it. I'm good.
Gonna take.
Goodness. You should just step forward and poke this guy.
All right.
And poke.
Poke.
Or
Do you
not.
have the D4?
I do not have the D4.
All right.
I did not place myself.
So yeah, you step forward, and then you're about
He's
to
prone,
poke.
right?
Oh,
Disadvantage?
good point.
Oh,
so
snap.
Granny has advantage. Nice call,
Boom.
Steve.
Thank you.
So Granny steps forward and just sticks the rapier right down into the goblin's chest and right outside the back of the goblin. And he kind of
Jeez.
slides slowly off of the end of the rapier.
Nice.
Give Recto a nod. Appreciate
Yep.
it. Good team, good tag team.
All right. So unless Granny has anything else she wants to do, it's Roland's turn.
No, I'm good.
Yep, go for it.
All right. I'm gonna attack just to the north here.
Yep.
Uh,
You do have a D4.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna help me, but
Yes.
yeah,
No, definitely not.
Hey man,
the
I'm
goblin
just,
kind of
I'm
jumps
just
back
here
and gets
to,
out of the way.
Everyone thinks you look super cool, Roland.
I'm just here to
He's
soak
tanking.
up. I'm just here to soak up damage. That's the end of my act.
You're
He is
doing
tanking like a boss.
it's
All right,
true.
so that goblin, as you know, you bite towards him. He jumps back out of the way, jumps back towards you, swings his scimitar at you, and he misses. And you guys are kind of doing a little dance.
Dances with wolves.
If nothing else, those three goblins are freaking the fuck out because a dire wolf just appeared in their mess hall.
Yeah.
That'll ruin your lunch.
All right. So the next two, however, they kind of do like a tag team thing where they kind of almost link arms and run forward towards you with their scimitars out, and they do manage to connect, and they will hit you
How does that
for.
make it better?
It's goblin tactics.
Goblin stuff, man.
You don't understand.
I
They
would
have to
give
use
it.
their numbers. That's all they've got.
And so they hit you for 17 points of damage
Dang.
Go!
total.
It looks like you're gonna need that healing potion after all.
No, I switch out of dire form and I go right back to my old hit points.
Yep. It says
Oh, so
second
really?
second health bar.
That's awesome. Wow.
So Hansy hears some commotion coming out of the door to his east.
Uh-oh.
And we move on to Zygmundo's turn.
Oh boy. Alright, I'm going to 1, 2, 3, 4 move to here. 4 for 4.
Okay. I gotcha.
Right? And I'm going to just cast I'm gonna cast Firebolt at this gentleman right there. One of the men.
Alright.
Are you ready?
Yep. Yep. So it flies right past him and hits a stack of dishes in the back and breaks the dishes.
Are they
Oh,
flammable dishes?
rude.
Not the
The
dishes.
paper.
Talking about paper plates.
Is that it?
That's all I can do. So yes.
All right, Garad.
All right. I'm now going to run and pummel this goblin.
All right, let's see it.
Now I'm gonna
We're
kill
killed,
this guy.
Oh wow! Oh wow!
You
I'm
were
gonna do an
putting
uppercut
bodies
motion
on
this
the
time.
ground.
I'm running through and running through, and I'm just gonna do an uppercut. So his jaw so his head tilts back, and he just falls back a couple of feet.
All right, so you do the uppercut with the maul. It cracks his skull from the jaw. The jaw kind of disconnects, is hanging off almost by a thread, and he flies back all the way to the other side of the thing, falls down dead.
And now I'm gonna
Damn.
take a step up here, so I'm now next to the wolf.
Yep.
Actually, no. You know what? I'm actually going to even go one step further and actually be here, so I'm actually right next to, fully in engage range with this goblin.
Yep.
Because he's seen me tearing up his friend, so he's got to be kind of pissed by now.
Yep. He's not too
All right.
happy about either you or the gigantic ass wolf next to him.
What's to be happy about?
And that was my turn, just to make sure.
All right. And so it's going to be Steve's turn.
Okay.
Silverhawk's theme song. Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's great.
Nah.
Nice.
Yeah. Silverhawk doing it,
Yeah.
doing the job. So I'll leave Handsy where he is for the time being. With my bonus action, transfer my hexed boss.
Okay.
Step 1 to his north and 2 to his west. And then Eldritch Hex him.
All right. Eldritch Blast. This will wake him up if he survives it.
Is it disadvantage too? Is there anything extra because he's asleep?
So we won't keep him alive.
You,
No.
Doesn't matter.
We've done too much
Nothing
of that.
here lives.
That's table
Actually,
talk. I'm sorry.
You are at disadvantage because he is prone. Ranged attacks are at disadvantage against prone enemies.
Is that right?
Yeah,
Pretty sure.
yeah. It's like when you're lying down. It's harder to shoot.
But I have so much extra time to aim it. Okay, if that's the case,
If you stand
I-
next to him, Troy might wave it.
is yeah. I mean, what's
Well, but then he'd have disadvantage for being.
for being next to him? Is
Well,
there
it's not melee if he's
Hit
unconscious.
him with your boot.
is there any scenario in which I can hit him with regular?
Like, if someone's lying asleep, you can shoot them when you're standing next to them.
I think
Fairly easily.
Troy's headphones died.
Oh no.
He's gonna plug them in allegedly.
Yeah, I'll I mean,
Okay, so while he can't hear us, let's talk about all the things.
if he
Yeah,
tells
some
me
of that stuff.
if he tells me if I can hit him normally, I'm gonna kill him. I mean, this a hexed
All right,
eldritch will murder.
There you are.
Is there a scenario if I was next to him, would that not be disadvantage anymore?
If you were next to him, then you'd have disadvantage for being in melee range.
Right, but is it really melee?
But he's on the ground. I'd be standing over him.
I get it.
That's the rule. That's the rule of the game.
And what are the rules?
All right, if that's the rule, then I will just
I mean,
ready a reaction shot against the next awake enemy that I see come into my ken.
You have a plus D4 to all of your attacks. You might, and we'll apply that to both D20 rolls if you have disadvantage. So
Really?
your odds are still pretty good.
Man, so many extra things to consider. Okay, yeah, I'll do it. Let's blast him. If I hit him, he's dead. He's gonna die. I'm pretty sure. So.
okay. So, you have disadvantage on the attack roll if you're within 5 feet of...
You cut out, Granny. Can't hear you.
the rule doesn't apply when a creature's incapable.
Ah, good to know.
so
All
if
right.
I'm next. Okay. Well then,
so you're good. So you don't have disadvantage from here.
I do not. Okay. Well then, yes, I will absolutely blast him good.
Oh well.
Oh man, all of that.
After all that.
So
It
your
misses him.
Eldritch Blast kind of flies a little too far to the left, and you see
The
Handsy
1d4
kinda-
wouldn't help, right?
No.
No.
Handsy kind of yelps as he has to flap out of the way of the bolt really quickly.
Sorry,
I looked up the
Handsy.
rules for you, man.
There's so much deliberation for such a anticlimactic result.
So unless Steve is doing anything else, it's Recto's turn.
No, I've done enough.
We probably got about 10 more minutes to wrap all this up.
Oh yeah, shit.
Shouldn't take that long.
Pretty good.
All right. 2 left, huh? All right, then I'm gonna run up and
You could certainly get to here.
yeah. I'm trying to think if I want to do something acrobatic.
Actually, yeah, you could get to any of the spots on next to them as well.
Yeah.
You can get to the other side of them if you want, just with normal movement.
Yeah. All right, so let's go to here for now,
Okay.
and the old stone fist uppercut.
All right, and you
course I
just
miss.
whip air.
And then the old
But
crane
the ball
kick right
kick-
to the face.
The ball kick came through for you.
All right.
Give him the razzle dazzle.
Yep. A little thunder, a little lightning.
And so in this case you kick him right in the stomach and he kind of doubles over, but he stands back up, kind of rocking back and forth a little bit as you see a little blood curl down his lips, but he readies his scimitar.
Okay. That's it.
All right, Granny.
Okay. You guys have probably got those too. Granny will.
Man, I hope so. It
Um,
would have to go really wrong.
I feel good about murdering a sleeping creature, so can she.
Since when?
Literally yesterday.
Since right now. She time up.
Yeah.
She'll time up,
All right.
and that's probably it. I guess
I'm gonna say he kind of wakes up from that.
that's fine.
And he's disarmed as
And-
part of that
and gag
process,
him.
right?
Ties him up and gags him.
All right, done.
Cool.
All right, Direwolf, what you got?
Alright, gonna take a bite down here.
All right, let's see it.
Jesus.
Roll your d4.
Munch, munch.
Fucking A. Alright, that's it for me. I'm just here to get beaten on.
All right, so the
You're doing
goblin
great.
uses attack. He swings right back at the direwolf. Hits you for 8 damage.
Okay.
Rolling. The one to his north turns and looks at Garad.
Okay.
And is going to hit you for 7 damage.
Ouch. Okay.
Thus endeth their turn. Zygmundo.
Gonna attack this guy right there with another fireball.
Okay, that is going to be... He's going to have probably 3/4 cover because there's a big fucking dire wolf in between the two of you.
Hey, wolf, I get it down, alright?
Shoot between his legs.
Yeah.
5-hole it.
I should.
Or 10-hole, I
Well,
guess, because he has 2 sets of legs.
I've already told you my action. You've already told me the result, so it
Yep, let's keep going.
Nice.
oh,
But you know what?
He
That'll
10-holed
do
it. Yep.
That will do it.
That will do it.
You're a sharpshooter today, Ziggy. I
Not
gotta
enough
keep that
quarters.
handy.
Not enough quarters of cover.
And it does. It's like a curveball. It goes up to get over the rocks in front of him, and then kind of dives down and just barely clears the floor as it goes between the direwolf's legs, and it just hits the kneecap of that goblin and blows his leg off. and he collapses to the ground.
It's all in the wrist.
That was a really good impression.
All right, Garad.
That's quick.
Yep. And I'll roll my d4.
Yep.
Time to smoosh another one. Oh.
Oh.
So also you're not actually within melee. So where did you move for that?
Oh, yeah, I would have. Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, you missed. Go on.
It's
All
okay.
right, Steve.
Well, I presume we're not talking to the boss, so I will still retain my readiness to shoot any enemies that come.
Yep, sounds good. Recto.
Yeah, I'm gonna assume you guys kill this guy.
With my rolls, I wouldn't assume that.
It's a little
Yeah, it's.
Nick's
You
been taking care of
might
business,
want to chip in.
Nick's been taking care of business.
Yes, he's been squishing people
Nick has been.
at a regular clip.
He gets one. He gets one miss.
All right, then. Yeah, I'll come here then. I want to use my bonus action to unarmed strike him
Okay.
first.
Before you do your regular action.
Yeah.
All right.
Get rid of the bad roll first.
Oh, well, I missed.
Well, I could use, yeah.
All right.
I know the feeling.
Are you gonna use your regular roll?
Yeah,
your
because I
action?
can't disengage him now. Yeah.
Oh,
And look at that. How do you want to do it?
So this is gonna be a. This is gonna be the seven touch exploding heart technique.
Oh, nice. So you kind of like
5-point palm.
5-point palm exploding heart technique. Yeah.
you fake him with your stone fist, and he kind of dodges out of the way of it, and then right as he comes back to bring his scimitar out at you, you reach forward with just a few of the fingertips from your non-stone hand, kind of touch him on the chest, let go, and he grabs his chest, and all of a sudden his chest just explodes outwards.
Okay, now I'd like to
As
move.
just do.
and Garad is like, "Why didn't you do that before?"
Shut up, Garad. All right, I'm gonna move. I think I can get to. So I moved 5 feet to get here, right? So that still leaves me with. No, I'm sorry. It was how many feet was that? That was
10 feet.
10 feet. So I can still move 35.
Yep.
So does that count as 35, or do I have to like go to here?
I'll give it to you.
All right. Then I'd like to go up just north of Steve.
Are we still in combat?
Well, we're actually going to call it here for the evening,
Cliffhanger.
and so you can find out whether or not you're
That is a
going-
lot of goblin corpses.
That is a while ago.
I loot them. All of them by myself. I loot them.
You can't dibs that.
Watch me.
All right, guys. So
Let's go.
It's all going to Dr. Fat Horse in the end.
I
Our
will
mobile,
fight you
our
for the
mobile
marrow.
bank.
I licked them. That means they're mine.
I know a lot of them are pretty exploded.
Yeah, there's a lot of parts to lick.
So you guys were able to make it through a fair amount, or well, probably like a quarter of Cragmaw Castle. Cleared
quarter?
out a shit ton of the goblin horde toward its entrance.
It's a lot less ordy now.
But Hansi has indicated that there's at least some commotion happening to the east, so it might not be over quite yet. But we won't find out for sure until next week.
Dun dun
Listen,
dun.
Man,
I think combat's really speeding up.